You know I stay.
Damn right you know I stay. I'm always staying. I'm never going. What's up, everybody? Thank you all very much for tuning in. What's up, Roxy? How's it going? We are playing something called, it's behind my webcam, Zero Fox Hime. It's gonna be a few hours here. I might need my glasses, I don't know. Depends on if they put light lettering on light background. Because if they do, because I've seen it before to where it's white on white and I can't see the white. I've also seen dark coloring on dark coloring. I'm like, bro, do you not understand the contrast of me being blind? But anyways, this game has a decent review rating, so hopefully it's decent. As you guys know, basically on holidays and other days, I play visual novels. This whole year of live streaming, we've done one for Christmas, we've done one for Christmas, we've done one for New Year's, and now we're doing one for Valentine's Day. I didn't do Lunar New Year because it's not really something that I celebrate. However, I do celebrate it in games because it's an in-game event, but like some events I will do things for. For example, what is it? Freaking Leprechaun's Day? What the fuck is it? St. Patrick's Day, there we go. I ain't gonna do a live stream for St. Patrick's Day. Like, come on, guys. Come on. A major holidays. Valentine's Day is a major holiday. Whether people like it or they don't. It's Leprechaun's Day. Yeah, you know what's up. Valentine's Day is a major holiday, whether people like it or not. Most people hate it because they be lonely. They be doing what Akon be doing. And that's just why they hate it. And then the people that are together with someone, they like it, but they don't mind it. It's just a day. I don't care too much for Valentine's Day. Just another day. However, it's one of the higher up holidays, mainly because of money, Monet, and those are usually the holidays we're gonna do visual novels and live streams for. So again, we've done one for Christmas, we've done one for New Year's, and now we're doing one for Valentine's Day. The next one, to be honest with you, is probably Easter. Easter's like the next big thing. After that, like, I don't even know. I might do one just for summer, but every now and then there's a holiday and I will do something for it. I don't know how long this game is. I just put it on. I just downloaded it, to be honest with you. I had to pay for this one. I had to pay 56 cents. Whoppers. But let's go. What's this? Start a new game. Start. What happened? Oh, there we go. Hopefully it's still live streaming. That's all I can say. There we go, it is. I can read! Hopefully it says like this. Birds are chirping in the woods as the sun rises. And the birds are leaping merrily on the roof where nature is telling me a new day has begun. It seems anything that would haunt me when night falls will vanish when the sun rises. But whether I sleep well at night, I have to get up and go to work every morning. I want to know what time it is. So just roughly about 9:30. This should be done at about 11:30. It is funny, but sometimes I'll forget things. Alright, let's get back into it. The only things in life one can never escape. I don't even know what this is about, to be honest with you. I rub my eyes while complaining to myself to clear my drowsiness. At the same time, I'm also packing my things to get ready for work. Then my eyes fall on the wet zoological illustrated book in the desk. My mentor, who is well-known naturalist, gave the book to me as a farewell present. I'm one of those dudes that didn't ever want to read during school. Back in the day, I hated reading. Still suck at it to this day, as you can see. But it got wet. Got wet yesterday. Got wet! So I can't use it for the time being. Whew. I opened a creaky wooden door after getting my stuff. The sunlight from the outside is blinding. Alright, can we actually get some spicy stuff already? Another sunny day today. Since it's such a fine day, why not dry the book under the sun? should be as good as new, with only a few water stains at most. Things often don't go as we wish. I walk into the woods while complaining to myself on what happened to me recently. In fact, I don't need to be here. Wait, what happened? Oh, I don't need to walk for miles every day just to draw pictures of plants which look alike, and write down their features by using obscure terms. But when the mentor asks who would like to go for a field assignment in this cabin in the woods to replace the former observer, as he's our senior, who was about to graduate, I volunteered for it without thinking. Our mentor described this task as a glorious one with perks. As you can tell, once the writing gets a little bit smaller, I struggle. All I could hear back then was 35 yuan each month. Yuan. I'm assuming that has something to do with Monet. It's quite a fortune for a poor student. Enough for me to live well. Men die in pursuit of money. That is so true. I do have the money to live well now. But this place only has the occasional birds flying around to accompany me. What is this intro? My current work area is on a section of the map where the former observer left it blank. Ever since I came here, I kept working in this area and added details to it. There's so little we know and so much to discover. We have spent thousands of years trying to figure out the shape of our planet. Last I checked, the planet was flat as fuck, boys! No, I'm joking. Circle shit. Yeah. To explore the boundaries between the land and sea. And now, how many years will it take to understand landforms around us and all the species on it? I should go back early today. Close my sketchbook upon checking my pocket watch. Suddenly realize I've been here for 6 days. What? And I'll need to send the work logs to my mentor tomorrow. There's also a manuscript to finish. When I'm about to send up, a few scattered seeds caught my eye. Bad luck for them, because I'm gonna study them as samples. What? My handkerchief? I reach out for the handkerchief from my pocket to wrap these seeds, but there's nothing in my pocket. Right, I forgot. I have to tear off a piece of paper from my notebook instead. I don't know what's going on. It's already sunset by the time I return to the cabin by following the trail of marks I've left behind. One thing I can say is the art is nice, but I haven't seen too much. I didn't go back to the cabin immediately. I went to the river near the cabin to check out the creoles I've set up beforehand instead. My predecessor taught me this trick where if you set up creoles in a row with their openings against the current, the fish won't escape once they swim into the creoles. It's kind of like a fish trap of some sort. He said those fish are the best things you can get to eat on the mountain. And he also said it was the predecessor who told him that. Cabin was probably built here because of this river. No fish at all over these past 2 days? That's weird. The creoles are completely empty. Worse, one creole is damaged. Ooh, someone else is here. When I retrieved the damaged creole to take a closer look, it looks like some animal gnawed at it. Don't tell me something is really watching me. My predecessor didn't mention anything about beasts in the mountain when he handed over the chop to me. Since I can't determine why my creole broke, I have no choice but to bring it back to the cabin for now. Before I went in, I raised my voice and coughed on purpose. Not because my throat felt itchy, mine does, but because I wanted to embolden myself and scare away any beasts which might be hiding in my cabin. But everything is exactly the same as I left it this morning. There aren't any signs that someone or something has broken in. So I relaxed a bit and put my bag and creole down. I didn't catch any fish, and we'll have to eat something vegetarian today. Take out the wild vegetables I've picked out on my way back and put them together with some potatoes I've stocked in the cabin. Then I make dinner for myself. Can we get some actual peoples in this, please? After finishing my dinner, the place gradually turns dark. I light a kerosene lamp, and it illuminates a small area at the desk. For me, this is the only light at night in this forest. Within the light, I take the manuscript out of the bag, place it on the desk, and start to write on my work logs. Distribution of plants, types of animals, every living thing I've seen today is recorded on paper, together with lifeless figures such as... Why is he doing this? Bro. Too much work for something so simple. Such as the air pressure, temperature, humidity, and height. All these to make up the fruits of my labor for today. Again. Silence at night is broken when something moved in the darkness. Stop my work and listen intently. It sounds like something is scratching against a wooden surface. I rise softly and walk to the window, afraid that any noise might alarm what's outside. But there's nothing unusual outside. The window and the door are barricaded and sealed tight. After an inspection, I should be safe as long as there's no large animal breaking in. Perhaps the light attracted some animal? I sit at the desk again and continue with my work. It's morning already. Slowly open my eyelids, which feel heavy, and don't see anything weird. Seems all the strange sounds I heard over the past couple of nights are just false alarms, but it did cause me much trouble. I could hardly sleep. It's time to get up. I need to make a trip to town and send the logs to my mentor today. Based on the experience, I will need over 5 hours to get there, which means I need to depart now, or else I won't be able to make it back before nighttime. From White Emperor Town to Rosy Clouds, I leave at morn. Down the Jiangling, 1,000 miles away, I reach it in a day. So I'm assuming this was translated from like Japanese or something. I think I've almost become a savage. Damn, savage, bro. After living in the mountains for a week. But now I can finally go to the town and see people. Can't help myself from waving the stick which I use as a alpenstock and start to hum a song. The birds from the trees around me have heard me sing, and they chirp along as if they're having a duet with me. Barring the salt. Okay, so yes, definitely translated, because yes, this is all English, but it's not exactly how most people would speak. The cold air during the night and unknown wild animals, the mountain is still rather livable. There are leafy trees, vigorous birds, clumsy squirrels. It would be perfect if I have a junior girl to accompany me. Whoa. Hold up. Sus alert. That's the sus of the story right there. Why junior, bro? Well, what's going on here? After 2 hours of walking in the mountain, I finally reached the foot. At the foot, there's a road leading to the town. This road was originally built to facilitate post. Stop changing the freaking font size. My work logs will also be delivered through this road from the post office to the capital thousands of miles away. But this road is in poor condition, hence, apart from postal service vehicles, which have a regular schedule, only carriages planning to take shortcuts would occasionally go this way. I would have to walk along the road for 3 hours if I couldn't hitch a ride. That's a freaking hell of a long walk. The sun is already at its height point. The trees on the roadside aren't as dense compared to the mountain, so I'm extremely parched, and my legs are getting tired. I should rest for a while. After finding a shady spot, I put down my bag, sit down, and take long swigs from my water bottle. Why the hell are there no carriages along this road? I've just started to complain when there's that sound of a carriage coming in the distance. Hey, hey! Jump to my feet. Hi, hi! Tell me sure to come here. I forget the lyrics. It's been a while since I've seen the TikTok. Wave my hands and shout, hoping someone in the carriage will notice me. What a lucky day today. Bang! Suddenly the carriage jolted and tilted, rumbling. Oh, something black rolled towards me. What is it? The thing rolled to my feet like a drunken man. A wheel? The carriage stopped. Several men got off to check. We're not gonna see anybody. I believe this is your wheel. Okay, so now I see why this game's so cheap. There's no freaking human people arts. It's just scenery. I roll the wheel towards him. Now I don't mind not seeing myself because like I'm looking at the world as me, which is cool, but I want to see some other peoples and things. Yo, there's our wheel. A man who looks like the driver takes the wheel from me. What are you doing here, young man? Heading somewhere? Decent man who looks like a scholar from among the group of people stood up to. Apparently he's the decision maker in that carriage. Yes, I'm heading to town, but you're... I wanted to ask them if they can give me a ride, but I didn't since their carriage is broken. Don't worry, it won't take long before we fix it. You can wait for us to take you to the town if you don't mind. Well, thank you so much. Not at all. My name is Wang Jing. And you are? Call me Yan. Yan, why are you alone in the wild? I'm a student doing my research in natural science. I was assigned here a week ago. About a week ago. Of medicine and we tweaking hope. Alright, to take over my predecessor's duties at an observation post in the mountain. Today, I'm making a trip to town to send my work logs to my mentor. I see, how marvelous of you to do research in natural science at such a young age. No, you're flattering me. I simply happened to select this major. I wanted to study natural science when I was young, but I didn't do well enough in my studies and couldn't realize this ambition. Is that so? By the way, who's your mentor? It's Professor Lee. Oh, you are a student of Professor Lee. Forgive me, I was disrespectful and didn't recognize his talented students. What? Talented student? Just a normal junior student under him. You are too modest. I will treat you well since you are Professor Lee's student. You don't have to go all that trouble. I'm just going to send my logs. I must. My father and Professor Lee used to be friends. I think you would be interested to know how the professor is doing lately. Well, master, the carriage is fixed. We can go now. Driver interrupted our conversation when I'm at a loss on how to reject Mr. Wong's hospitality. Oh, okay, Yan. Let's go now. But if you need to put up with what we have in the carriage for now, why? Actually, there's not enough room in the carriage, so do you mind sitting next to the driver? Of course not. I'm more than grateful that you were giving me a ride. Accompanied by the sound of hooves in the breeze, my frustrations and fatigue from the heat gradually vanished. Sigh. I said we shouldn't have gone along this road. Indeed, there's something sinister going on. I heard the driver's murmur while I'm using my hands to steady myself due to the bouncing carriage. Talking to me? What? No, I was talking to myself. Oh. So he must know about something. Thank you so much. Just drop me here. Here? When we entered town, I planned to walk to the post office, so I told the driver to drop me. But he looked hesitant. What's wrong? We just entered the town. Are you going to the post office? We can take you there. Mr. Wong pops his head out while I'm puzzled at the driver's response, so the driver will only listen to him. Why bother? It's troublesome. That's not. We're heading there too, right? Join me for lunch at my place, as agreed earlier. You can tell my father about Professor Lee. But I need to go back shortly. Don't worry, our drivers will be delivering goods in the afternoon, since it's along the way. I'll get him to drive you home when the time comes, alright? Well, alright. So sorry to bother you. I was close to saying yes when he asked me to join him for lunch, because I haven't eaten anything decent food for a week. So when he said he'll arrange for the driver to take me back to the mountain, I couldn't find any reason to say no. Alright, so far I have yet to see what I want to see. Just throwing it out there. And no, I will let you know when we see it, and I am not one. After lunch, Mr. Wang's father, Wang Ji, kept asking me, these are the most Asian names I've ever seen. Since I have no significant achievements, yet he's so excited, I have no choice but to tell him about the discoveries of my predecessors. After all, I don't want him to think I'm simply here for food. Due to Mr. Wong's hospitality, I should get my freaking yearbook out one day and show you my yearbook names. I went to like a very dominant Asian school to where it was preschool up until 10th grade. Completely 95% Asian. And like whatever the hell the other 5%, it was just randomness. And then my last 2 years, I moved, and it was dominantly, you know what, nah, it was probably like 60% Hispanic. It was just different. But my Asian boys got me. And they all had the same freaking last name. Like, bro, got like 2 pages of Wongs, 10 pages of Lees. Like, fam, lamb. What's going on? Coachman! I heard you live in that mountain alone. The driver asked me while steering the horse carriage. Yeah, I have to live here for a year. Think I'll become a savage by then. Well, you have to be careful. There's something sinister there. Don't go too deep into the woods. Something sinister. What? fox spirits. The driver had said something ludicrous so seriously, I almost laughed. Fox spirits? You're kidding, right? This is some folk tale. Any proof? Of course there's proof. Senior Mr. Wang, you met today, is a famous scholar, but he left his job and came to live in a small town shortly after he became famous. He had a big house in the capital city, you know, and he never married. Never married? Isn't he Mr. Wang Jing's father? Master Wang Jing is adopted. He works in the capital city. He's busy, but he often visits his father. All the traveling back and forth has been hard on him. But I don't know. I don't see how it has anything to do with fox spirits. I heard he also went to the mountains when he was young. Then he was bewitched by a fox spirit and lost his soul. That's how he became who he is today. So you have to be careful. Don't go too deep into the mountains. Fox spirits bewitch humans in the woods. It's said that fox spirits would offer a man great fortune and take his soul in exchange. That's how fox spirits feed themselves. I think I've freaking read this before. I don't remember this game, but I think I've read something very similar to this. But I don't think Senior Mr. Wang looks like a man without a soul. He looked hale and hearty and kept asking me questions. Well, so far this just seems like a normal visual novel where there's like no routes to where you can go like A, go to B or C, freaking mix loops. Doesn't feel like that. It just feels like a freaking story to me so far. The other one that I did know I read about foxes that had routes. Well, he was faking it. Whenever he doesn't have visitors, he would stare at the ceiling in silence the whole day. Kinda creepy. Well, maybe he's simply missing someone. The scholars such as you are always so opinionated. Let me tell you, it's better to believe it. I didn't mean to refute you. Such folktales have been passed into generations, are often embellished to enable these stories to develop better. So it's almost impossible to refute it with science. I'm warning you out of kindness. Okay, I'll be careful. I decided against arguing with him, and simply accepted his warning, which has good intentions. After all, there's another danger in the woods I have to worry about. Please drop me here. Okay, young lad, do be careful. I know, likewise. Be careful too, thank you. You didn't really have to say be careful too. You basically just said likewise, which meant the same shit. After saying goodbye to the driver, I'm all alone again. It's almost dusk. The birds in the mountains seem to be tired and are almost silent now. Speaking of fox spirits, it suddenly struck me that there's foxes in the mountains indeed. But they're small and don't move in packs like wolves. Wait, what happened? Let me read. Oh, here we go. So they are hardly a threat to humans. Maybe there is a fox in my cabin. Foxes like to come out at night. They have good night vision. Oh, damn. So far, I don't mind the art. Background music, pretty chill. Everything that you would ask for in a visual novel. Except, there's not enough spice. There's not enough pizzazz. We need that. We want that. And also, this intro is taking forever. I feel like this is going to be like a 10-hour read. If I'd known about this, I would keep a dog in the cabin to guard me at night. Dogs and foxes are both canines, so they are unlikely to attack each other immediately upon an encounter. Unfortunately, dogs which are strong enough to fight foxes eat more than me. Can't afford a dog. Walk along a familiar road and finally see the outline of my cabin. Wait, something's amiss. The door seems to be open. I'm the only person in this mountain, so it must be. I become frightened upon realizing this and pick up my pace at the clearing in front where meals are prepared. The skillet on the firewood gave me an idea. It must be a large animal as it can open a door. With this thought, I hold up the skillet. Whatever it is, say hello to my little friend, skillet. Creep up into the window and look inside, but I don't see any animal. It's quiet inside. There's no large animal as I thought. Could only detect the sound of crickets outside the cabin. My quilt is lying messily on the small wooden bed. The books on the shelf remain at their original positions. Even the annals. Remove an N. On Streamflow, a book on the geography in China. It's Chinese! It's not Japanese. I'm sorry to everybody that I offended. I just assumed. I should have never have assumed. This is Chinese. Usually, the reason why I said Japanese is because usually visual novels, to me, from my experience, have all been Japanese author based. This is most likely Chinese. It's partly out of the shelf in the same way I left it. Actually, every visual novel I have read so far has been Japanese based, so just saying. This is my first non-Japanese visual novel. I look around. It's a small room. I don't think any animal is hiding here. So I relax and put away the book. But what the hell happened? The wind couldn't possibly blow the door wide open. Besides, the bolt doesn't seem damaged. What happened? After checking around, there aren't any items in the cabin that I'm missing either. Eventually, my eyes fell on the desk. The illustrated book is on the desk, and there are some red wild fruit besides it. Wait, this book! Didn't I put it on the clothesline outside yesterday? I think for a minute. Come to my realization, the clothesline was empty. Indeed, when I was outside just now. Someone collected it for me? There are fairies in this mountain. And these wild fruits? I picked one up and contemplated it. It's a raspberry. An edible wild fruit. Put the raspberry aside and touch in the book. It's already dry. If I have to find a reasonable explanation, a passing villager probably collected the book for me and gave me those raspberries. Well, he only gave me 3. So my predecessor was wrong about this mountain. We are not the only ones here. Whoever did this, he or she meant no harm. I put the skillet back and started to deal with the stuff I brought back from town and the materials my mentor sent me. It's already evening by the time I'm done. Dim sunlight is shining on the mountain of the woods, gilded everything on it. Compared with my life in the university, living here makes me more like a hermit. Or a primitive. Whatever, it's no use complaining, time for dinner. I ate some dry biscuits, then I felt upset when I'm reminded of the broken creel. Because I have to fix it later. I can't keep eating biscuits. Well, it's broken here and there. Picked up the broken creel and checked the damage. Then made an estimate on the number of ratans I need to fix it. That's what it's made out of. See, I know what a rattan is from playing AC&H. From one corner of my eye, something moved outside the window. But when I look intently, there's only the flickering movement from the tree's shadows. It's kind of creepy. Why didn't my mentor send 2 students for this? It's really scary to live here alone. Sorry for yawning. Reading makes me tired, but mentally I'm not really tired. I checked the window for signs of movement from the corner of my eye while complaining about the mentor. Living in the middle of nowhere, no wonder this stipend is so attractive. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind doing this. I think it would be kind of cool. As long as there's internet access to be able to stream at night, we'd be vibing. How cool would that be, though? It'd be freaking gnarly. I'd be a savage. Suddenly, a shadow emerged outside the window. It ducked when I was about to take a closer look. What the hell? Pointy shadow, looks like ears, and a small head. I think maybe it's some small animal. I know what it is. Try to visualize all the common, medium, and small-sized animals in this mountain. None of them are aggressive. The shadow appeared in my sights again while I was trying to figure things out. Hasn't left. Maybe it's a curious animal. Think I can handle it. But if I ignore it, it might be dangerous someday. After all, there are cooking utensils outside. It would be very troublesome if they had broken by animals. Then I made up my mind. I reckoned there was a blind spot behind the bookshelf from the window. I believe I put it there. Stand up and walk towards the shelf, pretending to look for something. I did put it here. I keep talking to get its attention and take a detour to the back door behind the shelf at the same time. It's a cold night in the woods. I shiver the minute I step outside. Then I realize the creel is still in my hand. Alright, it's my weapon then. Let me take it by surprise. This is what we're dealing with? Well, this is what we're dealing with. Let me pause the story here, fam. Your boy's not a furry. Trust. It's a young girl sitting on the ground at the window. I mean, not really a girl, but how freaking cool would it be if we had floppy ears and a tail? I think that would look pretty cool. I would look like a pro. Didn't expect the thing that has been watching me in secret is a person. So I freeze with my Creole raised in the air. It's not a person. Do you not see the floppies? You! She's wearing strange clothes and a hair accessory that looks like a pair of ears. It's not a hair accessory, my guy. And a tail? Who are you? What are you doing here? Bro, you were just told about fox spirits. This is a fox spirit. Where are you from? Where did you from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Nacho. Okay, I thought my freaking head. That was the same sound that freaking tells me my headset's done. Seemed to have scared her. She looked terrified and said nothing. Where do you live? So I softened my tone, and I still held the Creole. She still didn't answer me. But her expression changed a bit. Are you lost? Did your parents know you ran away from home? The change of her tone seemed to soothe it, but she became nervous again. Oh, she used to speak English. She speaks fox spirit. It wasn't easy to get a reply from her, but she only uttered some inarticulate syllables. What are you saying? She seems to have realized something and reaches into her pocket where I'm alarmed by this. I hurriedly step back and hold the Creole tightly. Stop! What are you trying to do? She pulls out something black and extends it to me. But I can't see that item clearly due to the faint moonlight, so I can only take it as a dangerous item for now. Then I ask her to stop, her hand frozen in the air. What is it? The thing in her hand is very thin. It looks like some dark fabric. Why did she give it to me? What is she up to? I have plenty of doubts about this thing and the girl. Yours? The girl finally uttered a word. Mine? And how could it be mine? You gave it to me. I don't know what she's talking about at all. I haven't seen her before. Yet, she said I've given her something to her. I don't even know you. Thank you. Now I'm returning it. Thank me. Did she mistake me for someone else? She extends her hand again while I'm confused over it. In her hand, there's a neatly folded handkerchief with a dark checkered pattern. It's the one that he was looking for before. This handkerchief does look like the one I used to take with me. Stretch out my hand for it. There's a blood stain on it. I think it is mine. I tried to clean it. The girl said it with a tinge of regret in her voice, but I failed. Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry. How did you get my handkerchief? You gave it to me earlier. She repeated the same answer. I never gave it to you. Let me think. I remember a bandage, an injured fox. When I see her eyes twinkle, I begin to recall what happened a few days ago. Bro, so I'm assuming she was an actual fox. And he helped an actual fox. There's no way he saw this. Yes. Oh, she's the cute little floppy dude. It's not really a dude, though. I was recording the geomorphic features near a waterfall, and I saw a fox falling into the torrent. Saved the fox out of respect for life. The fox was drenched. One of its legs were injured by rocks, and that part on its leg was bleeding. So I wiped its fur with my handkerchief. Then I wrung up the handkerchief and bandaged the fox's leg with it. After that, I released the fox, and it limped away and looked at me every now and then. You don't remember? Her voice brought me back to my senses. I do. My illustrated book fell into the water when I tried to save it. Sorry, I saw the book on... shoot. I sneezed involuntarily when a cold wind in the mountain at night blew across and gave her a fright. There are a lot of questions about this girl when she claimed to be the fox, although it is said that fox spirits do exist. The training in science all these years doesn't allow me to believe this nonsense. Maybe she has difficulties, so she can't tell me the truth, but at least I'm sure that she doesn't pose a threat. Come in. I have a lot of questions to ask her. She can move! She's got floppy wigglies! Closed the door after she came in. The cabin became warmer at once. I told her to sit down and fetched her a cup of hot water. Please? But when I handed her the water, she stood still and looked entirely reserved. Warm. I find her behavior amusing. You should drink some too. Is she speaking Chinese? Anyone want to hit me up with in the comments? Is she actually speaking Chinese, or is she just like cute girl kawaii voice action going on here? But I only have 1 cup. I'm glad you don't have 2 cups because... Wait. No, you have 1 cup. Damn it, that's not good. But we don't have 2 girls, so we're okay right now. Only bachelors live in this cabin. Who could have thought there would be a guest? Then you should drink it. It's alright, I can use another container. I looked for a long time and could only find a rice bowl I normally use to take my meals. After drinking some hot water, I felt much warmer and she looked better too. She wasn't as reserved as earlier. Where did you find the handkerchief? Didn't find it. I'm the fox. Even if you are wearing fox's ears and tail, it doesn't make you a fox. You see, the fox is about this size. I gestulated a size. And you are much bigger. Gestulated another size. We should be scientific. Scientific? I didn't mean to doubt you, but you have to give me reasonable proof. What is proof? Proof of things or cases that exist to prove what you claim to be true. She begins to think while I'm explaining it. A moment later, she grabbed my hand and pulled it towards her and muttered something. Here, proof. Don't do this. I screamed and I realized she wanted me to see her leg. I misunderstood her intention. She wanted me to see her leg, her fair-skinned and slender leg. So she hides the cut. There's a pink scar on it. Although the wound is superficial, it hasn't fully recovered. The fox was also injured on the leg. Is she really that fox? How is that possible? It must be a coincidence. I love it when they throw the... It allows me to actually do it. Hate to say this, but your proof doesn't have much weight. What do you mean? I mean, that part of your leg is susceptible to injury, so it's not convincing enough. Why, you don't believe me? One is almost certain to get hurt on the leg while walking in the woods, especially by wearing a short skirt like you. Give me a minute. I look at her and wonder what she will come up with at this time. What on earth is she hiding to approach me? Although I'm a poor student, I do have, alas, I seem to have nothing worthwhile for others to approach me. Okay, so this is not the same Fox visual novel that I've seen before, by the way. What a miserable life. Suddenly, from one corner of my eye, she's wagging her tail so cute. Wait, she can move her tail? How did she make an accessory move? Is there some machine in it? So furry and warm it feels good. Ah, what are you doing? I couldn't help touching her tail and withdrew my hand when she shouted. How could you touch my tail without my permission? Sorry, I wasn't clear-headed. I apologized to her, but I can't help myself from reaching out to her ears when I see her ears move. What now? She's full of caution as she watches my hand, which is suspended in the air. Nothing. I rub my head in embarrassment. I just want to know how you made it. It looks real. What? It is real. I was born with it. How could anyone make something they have at birth? How is that possible? I don't believe it. Show me your proof. Such micro machines are rare. Only highly skilled engineers could build those, and they never imparted their technology to outsiders. So I intend to goad her into telling me. Wait, she seems to have thought of something. I'm thrilled. She took the bait, but she didn't wait for my response. There's a sudden puff of smoke which obscures my view. I'm assuming she turned back into a fox. When the smoke clears, the girl has vanished, and there's a small fox in front. What? Can't believe my eyes. I left this little creature, seems it got a fright because its ears are flopped. Its eyes are bright and moist, like 2 crystal spheres. I stare at it, and it stares back at me. Then it became angry all of a sudden. Its ears are cocked, and the fur on its tail bristled. Before I could react, the fur ball in my hand suddenly extended its paw and scratched my face. Why is she so mad? Quickly closed my eyes and turned my head, then I realized it. The furball seems to have jumped into the ground and it is running towards the door. Followed by another puff of smoke, she must have bumped into the door, which is closed because of all the cold air outside. She is back to herself again. She is wincing in pain with tears in her eyes. Ouch. Are you okay? I didn't check my injured face. I wanted to check if she's hurt instead. She suddenly blushes. Don't come here, Brie. Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Did you turn into a fox just now? It was you who asked me for proof. Didn't know. I'm walking to her while trying to explain things, and the girl is opening the door while looking at me wearily. It's dark outside. Do you need... Before I could finish, she runs out of the cabin. A lamp? I run out after her, but she's long gone. The trees are rustling in the wind, much denser than before. It seems rain is coming. That touch, that look, incredible. I must be dreaming. How could a girl turn into a fox? I must be hallucinating since I've lived here for so long. I thought it was like a week, bro. What was that? What's going on? I'm assuming that was like freaking part 1. What's going on here? I buy dancing shit. What's going on? Where's these other foxes? Whoa! Let's go! Some tings? That's what we were. Let's go? What's going on? Where did this fox come from? Is she part 2? That's part 1's fox. Part 2 fox looking pretty pink. What's going on? I'm afraid to click any buttons. I don't want to miss out on some like stuff. Don't tell me that was the intro. I bet you that was the intro. Alright, it feels like it's almost done. Alright. And Psychic's art. Alright, there we go. That was like our intro, so now we get to keep it going. Nothing unusual happened again after the girl showed up, so I could return to my work without any worries once again, but I feel kind of upset. The mysterious fox girl confounded everything I knew. Natural science is a discipline that depends on evidence, although I'd wish I was dreaming. But she exists. She is special and also real. I can't explain it. I can't deny it either. Pack my things and start on today's work. As always, I have to go to the area marked on the map. I'm clearing a path through the shrubs in the mountains while moving forward. A breeze blows across. Ancient trees are rustling as if they were whispering. It's a nice day today, but the trees are blocking the sunlight with their thick branches. Every plant is stretching their leaves to its maximum to receive as much sunlight as possible. You can only feel a little warmth from the dappled sunlight while walking beneath these leaves. Whoops. Switching it, by the way. What? When I took out my notebook, a handkerchief dropped down. Pick it up. It's the only one the girl gave to me. I shake the dirt off it and sniff at it. Holy sus-balls. Smells fragrant and doesn't seem to be my scent. That girl looks cute. Remind me of what happened that night. Fear took a hold of me back then, so I didn't take a good look at her features. I wonder whether I will see her again. Not gonna lie, she didn't seem older than 10, bro. Actually, I was afraid of her at first, but now I'm curious about her. And you seem like a college guy. What the hell is going on here, fam? A fox which could transform into a human. How is her daily life? Wee woo, wee woo. FBI, coming in. I'm alerted by the cracking sound of a branch, but I didn't see anything unusual. Birds are still chirping in the woods. The woods are home to wild animals, so it's not unusual to run into some beasts. Hence, it's not a good idea to hang around. I have to collect examples and leave at once. Didn't go back immediately after I'm aware of the danger. Instead, I head to another spot for taking observations, so I won't get followed all the way to the cabin. My senses are telling me something's still watching me. Is it a bear? A bear would attack me long before this. A wolf? Wolves move in packs, and it would be far noisier. Maybe I've been too jumpy and it's just a squirrel. Maybe. Search through every tree in sight. As expected, something yellow is moving behind a giant tree. That proves my guess is correct. The tree is leafy, and it had withered leaves. No wonder I didn't notice it earlier. I feel happy all at once and can't help laughing at the thought of that girl following me all the time. Come out. When I called out, that yellow thing froze, as if she's wondering how I noticed it. I can't help thinking that she's so cute when I try to imagine how she would possibly look. Stop hiding. I've already seen you. The yellow thing quickly draws back. Suddenly, I recall that picture in a book which depicted a fox hunting for prey in the snow. It really feels artistic, like that picture. The girl slowly walks out. She's a bit wary and a bit embarrassed. Why are you following me? She stopped somewhere far from me. I mean, you could have just said hello to me. I move forward. Don't come over. Don't be afraid, I'm not a bad guy. I raise my hand to show I'm harmless and continue to walk closer to her. You are a bad guy. You grabbed my tail. But you also saved me. You are a good guy. She looks confused. So am I good or bad? Or somewhere half good and half bad? If you promise you won't grab my tail again, you are good. She's shouting while blushing. Okay, I promise. Come here. You promise what? I promise I won't grab your tail. After a moment's hesitation, she slowly walks towards me. Her ears are flapping. Suddenly, the scene before me seems surreal. Furry. Illusory. My ears too. Yes, I won't touch your ears either. Damn it, I was so entranced by watching her ears move and almost tried to touch them. This mysterious girl is standing in front once again, and she's just several feet away. I think you still want to touch them. I promise. How about you give me your little finger? What for? Let's hook our fingers. It's an ancient way by humans to make a promise. Would you believe me then? I extend my little finger to her to show my sincerity while saying it. Oh! She also extends her little finger to me timidly after she saw me extending my little finger. I promise I will never touch your ears and tail again. Oh, so she has human hands. When I returned to the cabin, I thought maybe I should invite her for dinner to apologize to her, and she said yes. Hope I can catch some fish today. I proceed to check the creels in the river with this thought in my head. Upon pulling one out, it was empty. There are 4 left, God bless me. Let me have at least 1 fish. This isn't palatable. You don't like to eat fish? That's a problem. The resources of the mountains are limited, and I'm not a good cook. I can only cook roasted fish well. This thing isn't a fish. I didn't catch her meaning, and I'm stupefied. This, when she noticed I didn't have a response, she pointed at the fish basket in my hand. It's hard to dry it, and not tasty. You mean this? I raised the fish basket in my hands and asked her incredulously. Have you eaten this? It isn't something to eat. Wait, did you ruin my old fish basket by chewing it? I thought it was food. She blushes again. You stupid. How would I know anything about the strange things made by humans? I laugh at her and can't breathe. My head is trying to imagine a scene when she chewed on the canes from the fish basket. But she found it hard to chew and spat it out in disgust. It's so funny. Her face, which was flushed, clouds over. If you keep laughing, I'm leaving. Don't. Wait a minute. Let me rest a bit. Finally, I managed to calm down. You said you haven't eaten food from humans before? Then you will have something to enjoy today. After all, I have much more confidence in my cooking skills compared to wild animals. Fortunately, the last fish basket caught 3 fish. thus the dinner plans can go smoothly. Do you live alone in the mountains? I ask her casually while handing out fish, but she's focused on the things in my hands. After preparing and roasting the fish for a long time, the fish can finally be eaten. I hand the fish to her. Here, try it. She received the roasted fish suspiciously as if she had never seen it before. I'm a bit eager to see her expression when she eats it. Delicious! That's good. Your tail and ears, you're really not a human. I'm a fox spirit. I have never heard of that. Bro, yes you have. I'll write it down later. It must be a big discovery. How old are you? 18. Okay. FBI? Peace out. We're going in. Well, you are an adult now. Adult? If you're 18, you are an adult now. In the human world, one can take full responsibility for his or her actions at this age. Fox spirits can live for a very long time. Lord Skyfox is much older than me, and is probably over 100 years old. So cool. You have another one of your kind? I thought you live alone. I live deep in the forest together with Lord Skyfox. Lord Skyfox? That one is a very powerful fox spirit. Then is that okay whenever you sneak out? It doesn't matter. Lord Skyfox doesn't care about me. Lord Skyfox? I wait for her to say something, but she thinks about it and changes the subject. This is called roasted fish? Yeah. Teach me. I want to go back and cook one for Lord Skyfox. Yes, alright. At first I thought it's bothersome and wanted to turn it down, but I suddenly remembered my lonely days in the mountain and agreed instead. If I have a friend who will often come over and chat with me the whole year, should be a little easier to pass. By the way, I'm Mori. What's your name? Jan. I'm awakened by a sharp knocking on the door. It's too noisy. Who's there? Come in. My mind is a little less hazy now. This mountain is desolate. It must be that fox spirit from yesterday. I gave my response and quickly got dressed. Sure enough, as soon as I open the door, a yellow figure rushes in. What shall we do today? Are we catching fish? I'm good at catching fish. That's great, but I still have some work to do today. Work? Yes, work. Well, I came here to work. Work? It seems she can't understand the things people do as an animal. It's something my supervisor assigned me to do. I see. She looks a little sad. Looks like she has understood my explanation. I'll teach you after I finish my work today, okay? You can find something to do yourself. Okay. Mori seemed sadder after hearing it. She was so happy when she came to my house, but I'd ignore her. Anyone would feel disappointed. I feel a little guilty, but I have no choice. I have to finish my work quickly. She's been quiet for such a long time. Why are you still standing here? I don't know what to do. I think she can be amusing. I get a book on the shelf and hand it to her. How about reading this? Okay, well, can you read? I know a few words, so Skyfox also has some books. Oh, do foxes read and study too? We're not foxes, we're fox spirits. Ah, sorry. But I'm curious, what are these books? Most of them are spell books, but they're too complex for me. Lord Skyfox said I'm not old enough to learn these things, and some are poetry stories and such. Yes, these two types of books are quite different from each other. Foxes could read too, it's different from what I'd thought. Mori looks totally like an uncivilized wild animal. Moreover, Lord Skyfox has an unusual taste in this book collection. I return to my desk, and she comes over to sit beside my desk. There is a small carpet, and it's a bit grubby. Thumbnail so far. You can sit on the bed, the floor can be cold. I've looked around and there's no extra chair, my bed is the only visible place to sit. Oh, I like it here. She doesn't mind the slightly dirty carpet and begins to read the book while leaning against my desk. I sigh, indeed, she is still a wild animal. Maybe I should clean that carpet sometime when I'm free. This looks delicious. I have stayed in the mountain for a long time, but I haven't seen it before. Huh? What are you talking about? This. She points to the corner of the book and shows it to me. Oh, this is a banana tree. This tree only grows in tropical areas. Tropical areas? Yes, those are very far from here. Mori has a thoughtful look. It's quite a long distance away, but nowadays, we can go there by train and reach there in a few days. Train? Yes, the train is powered by burning coal and giving out thick smoke. Train also looks like a giant centipede. It can carry thousands of people at a time. That's scary. Mori's frightened by my exaggerated description. Now you know how great technology can be. Chatted with her and time passed quickly. Soon it was almost noon and I stretched myself. Please go and light a fire first. I'll join you shortly. Okay. Mori got up and went out and she gave a positive response. Although this girl made it difficult for me to focus on my work, I'm still in a very good mood. I can hardly remember the last time I've had such high spirits since my arrival at the cabin. Maybe it's been too long since I've had anyone for company. It's nice to have someone accompany me, but it seems she isn't human. Huh? Why is there smoke? A scene greeted my eyes when I rushed out. Smoke is billowing and rained yesterday and the wood is wet now. And she didn't dry the moist wood beforehand. She threw the moist wood into the fire instead. Yan, it's almost done. Her hands and face have become black, and she's still smiling at me. Your face. I'm laughing so hard it's hard to breathe. If you go out at night, you will be invisible. Invisibility? That's complex high-level magic. Well, you don't need to learn it. I don't need to learn from others. This girl is so low in intelligence. Go to the river and look at your appearance. Wash your face out while you're at it. I will go, what an innocent child. I'm surprised at this girl's lack of common sense. While I was clearing up the messy pile of wood, I wonder how she lived during those 18 years. By the time she returned, I've started to doubt the dry wood and moist wood. There are two kinds of wood, dry and moist wood. Don't burn the moist wood. We can only burn them when they are dry. Do you follow? Otherwise, it would produce too much smoke, and you'd end up the same as just now. Please look closely at how I do it. I light a fire with the dry wood and ensure the fire is stable and big enough. Stab and prepare the fish into the skewer and cook it on a fire. Take care of your hands when you cut the branches. Don't hurt your hands. The height to position the fish shouldn't be too high or too low. If it's too high, the fish could still be raw. If it's too low, the fish will be burnt. After you've removed the fish's internal organs, you should cut it like this, and then it will be well done. Talk to her while cooking the fish in the same time. Are you clear? So amazing! I'm a bit flattered when I heard their praise, but it's just a roasted fish. It's so-so. With that, it's done. Hand the roasted fish, which smells appetizing to Mori. What kind of magic did you apply just now? She's staring at the roasted fish and what the fuck did you say? This isn't magic. Then what is it? Such a dazzling display. Must be magic. I thought only Lord Skyfox would know how to do that. I smile really, and wonder how I'm going to explain to her that it's just a primitive way to process food. Didn't realize humans could use magic too. It's not magic, it's technology. Oh, is technology a kind of magic? Even Lord Skyfox didn't teach me. I will come here often to learn from you. It seems I have a long way to go in teaching her. Can this girl learn anything from me? I doubt it. I want to meet Lord Skyfox. I'd usually take a nap after lunch, but Mori is around this time, and it doesn't seem nice to go to bed in front of her. Besides, I'm not sleepy when she is around. I've seen this before. There are many of these in the forest, so it's called ginkgo. Yes, it will smell when the shell rots. Indeed, it's smelly, and the leaves are slippery. I have fallen down several times, but it has such a nice name. By the way, jasmine is also a kind of plant. But why do you have Mori as your name? Huh? Me? I'm already called by this name when I was small. Jasmine is the name of a flower. It's a flower? Where is it? Show it to me. Please find it in the catalog. The sound of pages turning. Ah, found it. Is it beautiful? White Oleaceae jasminum shrubs. Has a strong fragrance. Well, it's one in my college. It really has a sweet smell. I haven't seen it in the mountains. I'll show you in the future. Her voice trails off and is a little sleepy. If you're tired, go to the bed and rest. Then the place becomes quiet. I glance at her. Sure enough, the girl is asleep. She is breathing evenly on the carpet with her eyes closed from the book that is hanging downward from her hand. The page is still on the description of Jasmine. Apart from her ears and tail, which rise and fall along with her regular breathing, she looks no different than a human. Seems time has stopped quietly. This girl is so lazy. She could fall asleep when we were talking. Why do I have such a hard life and I need to work? The weather, how the hell did she get the clothes? That's what I want to know. The weather in early autumn is slightly cool, and humidity in the mountain is heavier. I wonder if the fox will catch a cold. Let me go get something to cover her. Today I need to go to town and post my work logs. It's quite a headache when I think I have the 5-hour journey. Hope I'm so lucky enough to hitch a ride today. If I go out early, I should be able to catch a coach leaving town. If that doesn't work, at least I can get back before dark. My work went smoothly yesterday. After Mori left, I slept very well too. Speaking of which, will Mori still come here today? I will leave her a note to tell her to wait for me. While walking along a busy street in town, I opened a letter from my supervisor. In recent days, you have obtained very good results in the mountain. Seems I have chosen the right person. It's cliche, let's just skip to the point. Recently, a butterfly of great scientific value has been discovered abroad, and it has been named Polymatus Ishgashimicus. This listed butterfly has a similar habitat to the mountain where you live currently. I asked your fellow senior student under me, and he said he had also seen this species of butterfly in the mountain when he was there. Therefore, I hope you will adjust your recent research objectives to search for this butterfly. At present, there is very little information about this butterfly. I have attached all the information I could gather, and I look eagerly to your report on it. From the wording of the letter, my supervisor seems to have great expectations on me finding the butterfly in the mountains. Close the letter and flip over the information in the attachment. The name of this butterfly is really unusual. It's probably named after an explorer. How did they come across so many strange things? I don't want to think about it. I rely on the drawings of this butterfly to rack up my brains of the butterflies I've seen before. I don't remember seeing anything like that. Seems like I can only start from its habitat, but the forest is so big, similar to finding a needle in a haystack. It's so hard to earn this small amount of grant. Met a merchant's carriage on the way back, so I returned to the forest at the foot of the mountains earlier than usual, and could afford to saunter on the last stretch. Yet I quickened my pace when the aroma of the roast chicken in my backpack wafted over my nose. I hope I can return soon to enjoy the chicken. The roast chicken is bought from the market in town, and the smell could attract anyone across an entire half of the market. In fact, I wanted to buy it a long time ago, but I knew I couldn't finish eating it in a day or two, so it would spoil and lead to wastage. So I resisted that idea. It's different now that I have Mori as my friend. She should be there tomorrow, so I can eat the roast chicken with her. I'm panting by the time the cabin appeared in sight because it hurried back. What's that? From where I'm standing, a shadow was moving around in front of the cabin, and my ears could pick up the crackling noise of a fire. Must be Mori. She came today? Walk on happily. Soon a burning smell reaches my nose. She's cooking a dish in secret again. I have to stop her, otherwise she's going to burn my house. Let me do it. Mori turned around when she shouted. To my surprise, she has a spotted face instead of a sooty face this time. There's a lot of white skin around the suit, but she still smiled happily when she saw me. Yan! There's a row of white teeth in her face. I wanted to tease you, but you've made some progress. Is my face dirty again? This time she was fast and she immediately wipes her face with her sleeve. Instead, her face becomes more dirty. How about now? I can only stare in surprise as she wipes herself hurriedly until her face becomes sooty. This girl is so smiling at me when she's finished, and I feel kind of dizzy with her white teeth below the sooty face. Maybe it will be better not to wipe it. It's hard to make a fire. It's not hard. Don't wipe your face with your dirty hands, silly. If If I don't use my hands, can I use my feet? Use a handkerchief if it's dirty. You just need to clean it. Oh. Also, don't make a fire downwind whenever possible. After a lot of effort to clean up the mess outside, I call Mori to come into the house. She's still unhappy about what happened just now. I'm really stupid. I still haven't learned how to make a fire yet. Don't worry, be patient. But I brought something delicious back today. Would you like to know what it is? Delicious? Yeah, I can smell it indeed. Dang, dang. I removed the roast chicken wrapped in waxy paper out of my bag and put it on the table. Wow. Mori says, a chicken. What is this? It smells so good. This is the roasted chicken. I explained to Mori as I peel open the paper. Roasted chicken? Wow. Try it. Fortunately, the roast chicken has become a bit cold. To think about it, when it was fresh in the stove, tear out a chicken leg and hand it to Mori. Wow, this is delicious. She takes a bite and begins to drool. Actually, it's better than what you cooked. Of course, I only learned basic cooking skills from wilderness survival guides. Actually, this roasted chicken is a little cold, but it tastes better when it's hot. How do I cook it? I want to learn. This is technology developed by humans, being based on thousands of years of experience. You need to know what we can do anything in order to eat good food. But how do I make it? How to make it? I don't know either. So there are some things you can't do too. I'm not a god, of course I can't do everything. Even a god doesn't know how to do everything. You know a god? God is very boring. If I'm a god, I want to be a human. I don't want to be an unhappy everyday like Lord Skyfox. You often mention Lord Skyfox. This person must be an important god in your heart. What kind of person is this god? Lord Skyfox is a very powerful fox spirit. Besides having a place as a god in my heart, this fox spirit can be considered more or less a god according to the human definitions. Lord Skyfox had looked after me even when I was just a little fox. Mori puts down the chicken bones after eating that leg cleanly, and she looks serious. I've never seen Lord Skyfox look happy before. Maybe that's in their nature as gods. What do both of you usually do? Lord Skyfox always has a lot of work to do. Yeah, I couldn't understand that magic either. Every time I wanted to play together, I would be asked to run along elsewhere. Lord Skyfox would mostly ignore me when free, and just stand under a tree in the courtyard to look into the distance for a long time. I've also tried to stand at the same position to see the distance, but I didn't see anything special. Maybe I didn't know magic, so I couldn't see anything right. Probably got something in his mind. Maybe so. If I give something tasty, Lord Skyfox will be happy. You also said good food will make people feel better. That's why you wanted to learn to cook from me? Of course, I want to learn to cook chicken now. Roasted chicken is the best I've ever had. Yesterday you said the best you ever had was roasted fish. That's not the point. Roasted chicken is number 1 on the list of delicious food. Oh, are there only 2 types of food on your list? No, there are a lot of things you haven't seen before, and also never heard of. Yeah, I am an ignoramus, and my knowledge is superficial. That's not what I meant. Well, that means I don't need to teach you how to cook fish in future, too. Why? Didn't you change your mind and learn how to cook roasted chicken instead? I can't teach you, so this teaching assignment is over now. You're being dishonest. You promised me that. Mori is about to cry. Okay, I'm kidding. I overdid it a bit, and quickly comforted her. It's another sunny day. Recently, I'm so in luck, it kept raining only at night. My mission for today is to find the butterfly based on only a few drawings and a few reports. Last night, Mori played in my cabin for a long time and went back very late, and I forgot to tell Mori that I will go out today. I need to leave a note for her in case she comes and can't find me. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. Like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and grab a new drink. Alright, I'm back. Jan, you're out here? Oh, what are you doing? I encountered this girl shortly after leaving the cabin. I'm picking canes. I want to gather a few more canes before coming over to your place. Why are you gathering them? To make a fish basket. I want to catch lots of fish. Isn't it fast if you try to grab them with your hands? You said I should learn to use tools. Mori retorts to while blushing. Forgot, I'm sorry. I'm going deep into the mountains today. Would you like to come with me? You going there to play? Of course, I can protect you. You, thin arms and thin legs? This forest is my territory. Also, just to give you a heads up, I'm just looking to see how much longer we have. Gonna be a long one. From the provided information, the areas I've explored before are quite different from the habitat of this listed butterfly, and it might be only found in areas I haven't covered yet. I look at the map and identify a few possible locations. Mori is very sensible and doesn't bother me while I'm doing it. She keeps following me within a certain distance that isn't too close or too far from me. Sometimes she swings the cane in her hand. Sometimes she makes noises to frighten away little animals. What a naive little fox. It's time to go. It's already past noon and I still can't find it. I'm wandering around in the forest like a headless fly. The butterfly is really in this forest? Did the senior student say it has a casual remark? What a way to make things difficult for me. What's up? My sight attracted Mori, who was playing nearby, and she came over to me. Nothing. I'm a little embarrassed that I might have taken away her fun in the forest. On second thought, after I just said there's nothing in my mind, it struck me that she said the forest is her territory, right? So she should know where the freaking butterfly is. Are you familiar with this mountain? Of course, I grew up here. Then I need to ask you something. I'm looking for this butterfly. Have you seen it? I asked her while pointing to drawings and papers, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Even if she'd seen it, she might have already forgotten about it. Yes. Mori said it without hesitation. Where? I didn't expect a positive reply so quickly. I asked further. It isn't tasty, and it's powdery. I asked you where you've seen it. You're telling me how it tastes. Wait, eat? Did you eat it? What's the matter? When did you eat it? Just now? Did you eat it when we're looking for it? That's a very rare species. Spit it out. Spit it out. I'll try. I stop her when it looks as if she's gonna vomit. Never mind, you didn't eat it just now, did you? No way. She's shaking her head like a rattle. When did you eat it? Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I can't remember. Fox spirits don't have a sense of time. But you don't have a sense of time? Then do you remember where you ate it? Yes, I remember. Good, take me there now. There should be more than one. After climbing several slopes, we arrived at the other side of the mountains. Here we are. Look around for a while. This place is really similar to the place described in the dossier. But for now, I still haven't seen the butterfly. Tired? Take a break first. I'll get some fruit. Okay. It might be possible that our sudden arrival disturbed the butterfly. If so, we'll need to wait patiently for some time. Find a place with a lot of bushes and take to the map and mark the way as a direction. There you go. Soon Mori returns. Thank you. Look up to the place of fruit. I look up to see the fruit that she was offering me. It's raspberry again. Then I take them and pop one in my mouth. It's sweet and sour. It tastes fills my mouth. You love these? Because it's delicious. You just pop anything in your mouth. Aren't you worried some of them might be poisonous? I'm a fox spirit. A fox spirit? Probably a rare species. Do I have to study her next time? Huh? Well, we've been waiting here for a long time, but there's no butterfly. That's strange. Can you tell me about the day where you ate the butterfly in further detail? Let's see. That day, I went out to play and followed the light from the fireflies to the place around here. There were lots of flowers, and there were many butterflies and the flowers. I was a little thirsty after running for quite a distance. I saw fruit on the ground. I'd initially wanted to eat the fruit, but there's a flower besides the fruit, and the butterfly is on the flower. So I just caught it and popped it into my mouth without a second thought. The mixed taste wasn't delicious at all. This place is beautiful, but the trees around there were also giving off an unpleasant scent. So I left after that. After listening to you, seems there's nothing special. What am I missing? I look for a watch after waiting for an hour or two with no result. It's getting late, and the sun is about to set. If we don't return now, we'll probably have a long way to go in the dark. Anyway, let's go back. Well, I'm going back. So fast? You weren't going back after dinner? Well, I haven't appeared in front of Lord Skyfox all day. Lord Skyfox might get worried about me. I see. Be careful then. I'll see you tomorrow. Good. Thank you for accompanying me today. quickly eat my meal alone and return to the cabin. The food feels as if it just filled my stomach when Mori is away. It's good to have a companion, while I should stop thinking about it and get back to work. Recording the environmental data and applying samples to the place we went to today. After comparing the samples with the information on the dossier, there's no great discrepancy between them. That place is definitely the correct place as the light-tinted butterfly habitats. But why were there no signs of that butterfly after waiting for a long time? What did I miss? I could only go to bed unhappily after thinking long and hard with no result. Go to that place with Mori again early this morning, but after waiting until it's past lunchtime, there's still no result. Indeed, there are flowers everywhere, and there are butterflies. The butterfly, I'm looking forward to didn't appear. Don't you dislike the scent of the trees here? Well, it's not intolerable. It's been hard on you. Glad to help. There's water nearby. I'll get you some water. Okay. Eventually, we still can't see the butterfly after waiting all the whole day. It's almost dusk now. If we don't go back, we'll have to cover a large part of the journey back at night. Never mind, we've been practically waiting here for an entire day. Doesn't matter if we wait a little longer. Maybe that butterfly will appear. And walk at night. There will be no problem if Mori is here, right? I'm a strong man, and now I'd actually need a girl to protect me. It's a bit humiliating. Look away from a notebook when Mori's voice reached my ears. Then I can't look away anymore. The sky is like a huge curtain. The color of the curtain is changing from indigo to orange. The orange-red light is dyeing the garland on her head, and she's dancing gently. It's so beautiful, it's like a picture. Her whirling brings up the wind and the crushing grass, and the crushed grass is swept up by the wind. The wind with its flowers, grass and her fragrance, they are caressing my face and getting me to watch with bated breath. My heart is beating so fast. Am I falling in love with her? I'm a little dizzy. My hand loosens up a bit, and a branch in that hand drops to the ground. What's the matter? Nothing. It's getting dark. Aren't you afraid? I was afraid she would see through my composure, and I quickly changed the subject. Afraid of what? Right? She's not a human after all, and the forest is her home. But she's so real, her behavior follows her heart wherever she freely expresses her pleasure, anger, sorrow, and joy. She is even more real than any human I ever saw. Truly like a human, except humans don't chase firefly lights to run in the forest at midnight like her. Wait a minute, firefly lights? I think I found out the most important part. Firefly lights can only be noticed at night. What's the matter with you? Are you afraid? There's no danger here. Mori came over and asked me with concern when she didn't receive any response from me. Oh, nothing? We may need to stay here late for today. Did you find anything? If my guess is right, that kind of butterfly should appear only at night. Really? Then I'll stay with you. If you aren't going back, will Lord Sky Fox get worried about you? I'm more worried about you, and it'll be fine if it's just one night. Huh? Why are you worried about me? You don't know this. You're safe when I'm here with you. If I go, the big wild animals will smell you and eat you. Really? They don't dare to come here once they smell me. In the world of wild animals, there's indeed a rule to divide the territory according to their smell. They generally avoid each other unless the territorial owner isn't fierce enough. You mean you're as fierce as them? Of course, I'm a fox spirit. I can't picture Mori as a fierce creature at all from her appearance. Night falls, the landscape has become dark, and the firefly lights seem to shine around here. Under the moonlight, it looks as if there's a layer of gauze covering the forest. You don't need to light a fire. It's quite bright here. Fire has other uses besides lighting the place. When wild animals see the light from a fire, they will stay far away. Wild animals won't come here. That's what you say, but I told you I'm a fox spirit. Don't underestimate me, really. And if we light a fire, it will disturb the butterflies, Mori whispered suddenly. She is so thoughtful in helping me, although the way she put it is a little clumsy. Well then, let's eat something. Take a dry biscuit out of my backpack, break it in half, and offer one half to Mori. Mori takes a bite after receiving it. dry biscuit isn't as delicious as roasted fish. I can't make roasted fish here, so you'll have to put up with dry biscuits for today. Tomorrow you can come back to my place and I will cook roasted fish for you. Well, actually, dry biscuit is just a little worse than roasted fish. I know, you're not picky with your food. Okay, I'm done. I'll go over there. Okay, watch your step. Although Mary promised the wild animals won't come here, this is a matter of involving our lives. Can't take it lightly. I find a branch and test out its solidity. If I only use it to drive away any wild animal, it should work, right? Now that I have prepared myself for any danger, it's time to focus on any possible signs of the butterfly. But I'd always want to look at Mori without realizing it. She passes through the trees and comes to open spaces where the flowers are blooming, and squats down. Does she want to make a garland again? Under the light of the stars and shadows formed in the surrounding trees, Mori is covered with a silvery sheen. She's like an angel that has been descended from above. She looks beautiful and surreal. Some of the glimmer is shining around her, like her guardian spirit. I see the butterfly! I'm so lucky to witness this amazing scene. Is it a dream? While I'm enjoying the terrific view, hey, Yan! Mori's voice called back to me reality. What? Butterflies! She seems to be speaking in a low voice. Butterflies! Look! I follow her sight. There's a blue light on her finger, which is flickering out and lighting up slowly. Upon taking a closer look, that guardian spirit-like glimmer happens to be from the lechinid butterfly. I've been searching for a long time, so this type of butterfly can light themselves. Don't move. Put down my stick, take out a butterfly net from my backpack. Don't disturb it, let me do it. Went in slowly towards Mori and I avoid making any noise from the leaves and twigs of the ground. It's a good time to cast a net. Got it! I laughed loudly when a butterfly I've been searching for after much difficulty is finally in my net before me. While I was dancing with joy, I suddenly slipped and lost my balance. Maybe it's because I stepped on the rotting and slipping leaves. I fell down, and Mori, at one side, also got pulled down by me. I'm sorry, apologized and was about to get up, but when I look at Mori, I hold my breath and freeze. I think I know what he's doing. Oh, never mind. That pair of bright-looking eyes staring at me. I thought he touched her tail or ears, but it's kind of almost wrist. I can't even see myself clearly in her pupils. A few blades of grass are scattered in her hair. Her mouth opens slightly. It seems she's still in shock. I can feel that warmth in her body even though she's wearing 2 layers of clothes. Her chest is heaving rhythmically, and every time it raises and falls, it brings warm feeling to me. That warmth is rising and blowing through my earlobes. You're heavy. My face is similar to a fire burning, and Mori is blushing too. Sorry, return to my senses and try to stand up hurriedly, but I forgot the net is still in my hand, and slip again when my knee touches the pole. I fell down again. Ouch. My lips accidentally touch her lips. The soft touch is like an electric current passing through my body, and I look up hurriedly. She seems angry with her face entirely flushed. Jan, what did you just do? Was that on purpose? It's definitely on purpose. You secretly did it on purpose. I look at her mouth while she's complaining about me, yet I'm only thinking about that soft touch from just now. It's warm, sweet. For some reason, my heart is racing. I lower my head and block her moving mouth. I want to relive this feeling. Yes, that's it. This feeling is captivating. I am indulging in a soft, sweet touch and can't pull myself up. She's like a high-voltage electric door. Once it's touched, a person would never want to release themselves again. I don't care I'm pretty sure I'm releasing myself. I'm not getting no electric shock, my guy. She's a fox spirit or a human. No need to think of anything else. I just want to indulge in this feeling. Finally, I have to stop, since I'm out of breath. I lift my head and gasp and inhale the cool mountain air, which is mixed with the slight fragrance of her body. Mori also opens her eyes. She's blinking and looking at me as if she wants to question me. I'm a little embarrassed, but Mori didn't say anything. She's just looking at me in silence. I wonder how she feels about me. Are you okay? I'm beginning to regret it when I gradually calm down. Followed by silence again, and I'm getting more nervous. The impulse to destroy the relationship we've been trying so hard to build. Just now, can you forget it? What? It's just now. I was impulsive. Sorry. You? Impulsive? It wasn't entirely impulsive, but it was really... What on earth are you saying? I'm afraid it would scare you, even break up our friendship. But... make up my mind, decide to do something big. I like you. I want to be with you. I'm a fox spirit, but you're a human. I know, but I like you. No matter who you are, no matter if you'll accept me. It feels rather bitter, where my life seems empty after speaking out. Seems Mori wanted to say something, but she stopped. I think I put her on the spot. It's okay, I'm ready for it. I like you too. I wonder when did I find it, though, without you. Really? Become dizzy from the sudden and unpleasant surprise. Next, I grab and shake her shoulders. But what the hell happened to the butterfly, my guy? It's true, don't shake me. It's another one of those things. I was very tired when I returned to the cabin. I put down my backpack, lay down, and fell asleep quickly. It's nighttime when I wake up. I made the butterfly into a specimen and wrote down the species information. After I finished preparing and inserting the contents for the package to mail to my supervisor, I went back to sleep soundly again. I get up early in the morning. Someone is knocking on the door just when I'm having my breakfast and making the bed. It must be Mori. Morning! Morning, are you hungry? Want some breakfast? Breakfast? What do you have? Only dry biscuits. In that case, I've already eaten. You really hate biscuits that much? Yeah, no. By the way, I'm going to the mountain today. Do you want to go with me? We can buy whatever you'd like to eat. Really? We can go together? Of course. This is the first time I'm going to the place humans live. Wait. Although she doesn't look any different from a normal human to me, by now other people would still regard her as a member of a different race. Eh? Can you hide your ears and tail? Lord Skyfox said I'm not at the age to learn spells. She said it hesitantly. It's a little troublesome. Then can you make yourself invisible to others, like the invisibility spell in some stories? I told you I can't cast any spells. Aren't these innate abilities as the stories would describe? Fox spirits also need to practice hard to cast spells. Okay, forget it. Do you have other clothes? Clothes? Is there a problem with the clothes I'm wearing? People usually don't wear such formal clothes. They will stare at you if you wear one like this. Formal? I've been wearing it since I was a child. Same for Lord Skyfox, I'm assuming. Hear me out here. The clothes grow while they grow. So the clothes are a part of them. Then have you ever seen humans wear one like this? Humans? I've seen a few in the woods before I met you. Those in the woods are probably my seniors. Indeed, they are dressed in dark gray like you. Yes, people are usually dressed plainly. And they would only dress up for formal occasions. Oh, but I don't have any other sets of clothes. I see. Then let me think. I can't go with you today? Yes, you'd better not. I'm worried you'll be in danger if you get spotted by someone else. Is it dangerous? Lord Skyfox has warned me again and again to stay away from human beings, and I think you are very nice, but you'd also say the same thing. Here we go. Lord Skyfox is right. Humans make up a large group. Some are kind, some are evil. And there are also some who are scheming and manipulative. So complicated. Why it can't be simpler? Maybe it's because there are too many people, and much fewer resources. Those who want them always outnumber those who already have them. Can't understand. Never mind, you can read a book here today or go home. I'll be back late. Well then, can I go with you to the foot of the mountain? No need, you might still get spotted if there's a carriage passing by. I'll also be walking very fast to come back earlier. You'd be tired. Okay, then take care. I will. You take care of yourself. Don't fall into the water again. No, I won't fall again. I breathe deeply in relief after making arrangements for the materials and butterfly specimen to be sent to the post office. Finally, it's done. Next is to buy some new clothes for Mori and take this opportunity to buy some daily necessities while waiting for the clothes to be tailor-made for her. I walk quickly when I remember Mori's crestfallen face before coming here. Welcome, how may I help you? You have clothes for young girls. I could only utter a simple question after a long time since I felt a bit embarrassed and became tongue-tied. Haha, it seems you want to buy some clothes for your sweetheart? Well, yes. It's even more embarrassing when the shop owner saw through me. I could only scratch my head and muster my thick skin to answer him. You've made the right choice by choosing our shop. We make all types of clothes for girls nowadays. What are the sizes of your sweetheart? This, I don't know. So you're planning a surprise for your sweetheart. Okay then, describe her height and figure to me. The shop owner gives an understanding look and is smiling more broadly. The height is medium, about 1.6 meters. When I try to recall Mori's appearance, her smile is the only thing that comes to mind. What about shape? The shop owner interrupted my thoughts by prompting me after I've trailed off for some time. I'm trying to figure out what he's about to say. The shape, medium too, neither fat nor skinny. Young fellow, although she's a beauty in your eyes, this will determine whether the clothes will fit her or not. How about thinking harder and describing them in more detail? Yes, but she's indeed balanced, where she's neither fat nor skinny. Okay, what about the chest? I blush a bit. It's normal. Like this, the shop owner takes out 2 balls of string and holds them in front of his chest. He's doing it quite naturally and isn't even embarrassed. Don't misunderstand me. This concerns the size of the upper part. A bit smaller. He tears out some of the string and asks me again. This. Yeah. He puts down the string and takes a pencil wedged in his ear to record it on a piece of paper. Sure enough, he's an experienced tailor. Okay. What about the skirt? Normal or smaller? Usually, what does a girl like? Honestly, girls like smaller ones most of the time, but most of them choose normal ones because of strict family upbringing. Then make it smaller. I shall have my way here. Alright, we're almost done. Please select the fabric and design as the final step. Okay. I look around the shop while waiting for the owner to make the clothes. Mori will have to hide her ears and tail. She can easily hide her ears with a hat, but the tail is a bit problematic. What if she hides her tail in the skirt? Her tail is much bigger than an ordinary fox and is more furry. Her skirt will definitely show a big lump. It won't work. How about covering it with a big cloak? But cloaks are mostly used during the winter. Too conspicuous to wear one this season. Suddenly a school bag on the wall catches my eye while I'm thinking about it. It's a common type for students. It's simple and big enough. Cut a hole in the bottom and put her tail in it, and then cover it with her long hair. That will be perfect. Sir? Yes? How much for the hat and the school bag? It's already evening by the time I return to the cabin after hurrying back. Mori isn't here, she must have gone home. I put the bag on the ground and sit down. It's so quiet that I can only hear my breath. Suddenly, it feels a bit hard to stay here alone. I'm hungry. I was in a hurry and forgot to take dinner in town. Now I'm tired, and I would still need to cook. It feels even more tiring. I regret my decision to come back without eating in town. Suddenly, a plate covered with a bowl in the dark catches my notice. I touch it. It's still warm. Oh, is it Mori? She cooked for me? I didn't expect her to learn how to keep the contents warm with a bowl. And I uncover the bowl expectantly. There's some roasted fish on the plate. It's charred on the surface and smells a little burnt. It seems she still hasn't learned to cook fish. I still have a long way to go in teaching her. It's unexpected that someone other than my parents would cook for me. The tender, white flesh with delicious aroma is revealed after plucking out the burnt part. Since it's just a little burnt, I should try it. It tastes good. She must have worked very hard to do this. I'm moved and feel happy. I'm really letting her down by eating the fish in such large gulps. What's up, Roxy? Time to savor it more slowly. A little too much salt. Knocking on the door, woke up from my sleep. I'm still groggy. Didn't respond immediately. Thoughts on the visual novel so far? It's not much happening. But I feel like I'm about to get to the parts where things actually happen. Like, not much happened yesterday, but it's okay. It's a bit weird, but it's okay. But, again, not much has really happened. Same thing over and over. Jan, get up. Wait, don't come in. I'm not dressed. I thought I could get a good holiday by waking up late after completing a big assignment. But the plan got shelved by Mori. Hurry up, hurry up. Finally, I have to get up. My life is really so hard. I yawn and open the door. Morning. Good morning. She jumps in and seems to be in a good mood. Did you go down the mountain to have fun yesterday? Tell me about it. I didn't go there to have fun. Let me brush my teeth first. What's the difference? Your job isn't that different from having fun, is it? It's quite different. I said it with toothpaste foam all over my mouth while going out to gargle. I wonder whether she heard me clearly or not. When I returned to the room, she's gazed at the newly bought school bag, leaning against the wall in one corner. Ah, you found it. This is for you. For me? Didn't I tell you yesterday that I'll think of a way? I thought you just said it as a casual remark. So you don't believe me. Do I look that unreliable? I answer, pretending to be hurt. No, I didn't expect you to take it to heart. If it concerns Mori, of course I would take it to heart. I say it directly, but suddenly, I somehow feel like a confession. Mori didn't answer immediately. I'm getting a bit nervous. But haven't I barred my feelings already? Or... Thank you. You're welcome. By the way, thank you for the roasted fish from yesterday. It's delicious. That's because you're a good teacher. But you don't have to cook for the teacher. I just wanted to do it for you. I see. By the way, I wanted to say this just now. How about trying it? Try what? I search through the backpack that's already filled with the daily necessities I've bought and take out the clothes and hat for Mori. Another spammer on YouTube. Always. This is a shirt. This is a skirt. And a hat. Okay, try them. So many. Not that many. I'll go out and wait. They should fit. I dig through I wonder what he actually picked out. The hair accessories that I bought yesterday are in there. She has long hair. I mean, she's a freaking fox, so I would think so. I think it would be nice if she wore those accessories. I hope she'll like it. I'm done. Come in, please. I'm coming. Bit sus. Oh, it actually looks... Okay, take the hat off, and it actually looks pretty nice. But I know why she's wearing the hat. It's to hide her ears, and then the backpack will eventually hide her tail. It makes sense. I have to praise that tailor. The clothes fit her very well. Indeed, I made a good choice after looking through the shop's available design. The light blue fabric with the floral patterns is a good match for her. How about it? It isn't nice. Wait, what? How about it? It isn't nice? Mori said it hesitantly when she saw I've been quiet for a while. No, it's so beautiful. Hey, do I look like a human? Well, there's still a few differences, but other people will find it hard to see through that appearance. Great. Wait, she still has her tail, though. The tail's still there. Great. Then I can go to the human town with you, indeed. That will be in a few days. Try this, too. I take out the hair accessories. This? To clip onto your hair. Oh, okay, the flowers. Once again, I have to brag about my taste in beauty. The pair of dark blue hair accessories with floral designs are a perfect match to her light blue. Clothes with another floral pattern. Is it okay? Yes, I'd say it's perfect. Her cheeks are flushed. It's as beautiful as that glow at dawn. This beauty is not the same as the cold beauty that night. Now she looks like an ordinary human girl. In that case, it's good. Mori is muttering while lowering her head. Besides saying she's very, very beautiful, can't say anything else. What have I learned all these years as a student? And, right, I'm about to show these to Lord Skyfox. Lord Skyfox again. Is this Lord Skyfox a man? I mean, I'm not gonna cap. Both of you have said he and him multiple times when talking about Lord Skyfox. Well, she hasn't. but she's agreed to everything he's said, which is he and hims. Lord Skyfox will definitely be pleased. I'll come back later. She ran away before I could respond. The cabin, which was lively just now, is cold and quiet. My heart feels as if it warms up. The warmest part is being taken away. An extremely sad feeling is coming from that empty part. Yan! That warm yellow shape comes back in sight again. I can't tell whether it's true or an illusion. I can only hear her whispering in my ear. Wait, what? What's going on? I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then she runs away again. What the hell is going on? But she won't come back this time. Indeed, that Lord Skyfox is more important. Lately, the weather has been sunny every day. I stretch and plan to clean the cabin before going out today. After all, a girl would always come to this place. It shouldn't be too messy. I open the window and keep the supplies I brought from town. Oh, here's a new cup. Mori drank from a bowl when I met her for the first time. That probably won't happen again. There are footsteps while I'm cleaning the place. Upon looking up to respond, Mori passes by in front. You're here. Good morning. I'm used to her appearance. Morning. She's walking briskly and only gave a short answer. Goes straight to the desk without looking at me and sits on the ground and picks up a book on the floor. What, she's coming here to read first thing in the morning? I thought she'd usually ask me about places where we could go out to have fun. Alright, hold up. First of all, thumbnail picture. Second of all, she's wearing the pink outfit again, but she does have the clips, the blue hair clips. But I've noticed she's in the pink outfit, her normal outfit. Nothing, she answered while turning the pages loudly in a rough manner. Obviously, she's trying to hide something. Whatever she's hiding, I can tell she's unhappy now, based on how much I know about her after spending time with her. You have something on your face? What? Don't move, let me see. What is it? Oh, there's 3 words. Words? Yes, let me take a closer look. 3 words. I'm not happy. 3 big words. I am not happy are written on your face. No, that's 4 words. Whether it's 3 or 4, you're not happy. Oh, so he's playing along. A man who can't count the number of words can't be trusted. Then the person with words on his or her face can't be trusted even more. Geez, I have no words on my face. Fine, are we going out together for today? Going out? Although she's been asked to go out with me, we didn't talk much on the way, and I don't know if she's in a better mood. I opened my notebook when we arrived at the observation spot, wondering why she's not happy. It seems I'm not the only one who angered her, so it should be Lord Skyfox. Southern Hawker is circling around to chase a mosquito. Then it spreads its thin wings, quietly stopping itself motionless on the green leaf in front of me. I have to grab the opportunity to write down its features. Where did she go? After recording a series of routine data, it suddenly feels hollow, as if I'm missing something. I quickly raise my head to look for Mori. She's sitting quietly under a nearby tree and pulling the petals of a flower in her hand. Her mind seems to be elsewhere. Don't break the petals again. These living things need time and effort to grow. Oh? You know, seeds have to work very hard to take root and sprout. Most of the time, they need to survive among cracks in between stones. Mori doesn't seem interested to talking to me, so I have to shut up and concentrate on my work. When we go back to the cabin, it's evening as usual. How about having dinner here first before going back? I'm not going back today. Huh? I'll sleep here tonight. What's wrong? I don't want to go back, so something did happen with Lord Skyfox. Well, so I'll make the bed. I didn't expect Mori to sleep here today, so I have to bring out the wood pillow and put it on the ground. I'm lying on the floor where Mori usually reads. Is the quilt enough? Do you feel cold? It's okay. If you aren't going back, won't Lord Skyfox worry? No, but Lord Skyfox doesn't care about my feelings or anyone else. Forever living in one's own world, I hate Lord Skyfox, so I don't want to stay with Lord Skyfox anymore. Is there a misunderstanding? No, Lord Skyfox is always like that, from before until now. Haven't met him. See, he keeps saying him, and he, and she agrees with it. It's hard for me to say. I guess he has his reasons. Anyway, you said he bought you up. There's no reason he doesn't care for you. Certainly not. By the way, can you take me to meet him? I've heard you mention him all the time, but I've never met him before. No, let's stop talking about Lord Skyfox, okay? Okay, fine. Oh yeah, I want to meet Lord Skyfox. I want to meet Lord Skyfox! It's not good to sleep on the floor for prolonged periods. I get up with a dull ache on my shoulders and waist. Mori, I'm up. There's a lazy wiggle, and then it's quiet again. She's going to sleep longer. Seems her mood isn't any better. I'm going to town today. Come back early. Is there anything you want? No. Ever since Mori ran away from home that night, her mood seemed to be getting worse every day. She stayed on the bed all the time, except to have meals, and she stopped going out with me. It's as if she's an entirely different person altogether. Well then, I'm going now. Take care. After saying that, she shrinks back into the kilt with only 2 ears out. Is there any way to cheer her up? It cannot go on like this. I think hard while walking to the door. Mori didn't want to tell me what's happened between Lord Skyfox and her. It probably happened that day I gave her the set of clothes. By the way, do you want to go with me? As I was about to open the door, I suddenly remembered the purpose in giving her the new clothes. To where? Mori is sticking her head out of the kilt to look at me. The town. The human town? Yes, do you want to go? Her eyeballs move around. Suddenly, she bounces out of the bed and runs up to me. Really? You'll take me? Sure. Great. Mori's eyes suddenly began to light up, and she's jumping excitedly. I want to go. I want to go. She has turned back to the lively fox spirit instantly. Seems this plan works. Yep, but you have to wear the clothes I gave you and put on that hat. This is where I bet you she doesn't have them. Okay. Mori can't wait to change her clothes in front of me. Wait, let me go up first. You have seen it before. I'm out. Have I seen it before? Although Mori has cheered up, I'm still a bit worried. She has never stepped into human civilization. I'm not sure if she will cause any trouble. Okay, so she still has it. Yan, I'm done. Forget it. It's fine as long as she's happy, even if it's just for one day. Good. You're really fast. But there's one more thing. What? Mori looks at herself with confusion. Your tail. Use this. I hand her the school bag I bought. Oh, how to use it. Strap it onto your back and insert your tail through the bottom. There we go. There's no more tail. She's normal. You're so smart indeed. Mori packs in her tail by following my instructions. Now she looks very much like an ordinary human girl. I'm going to fill up my bottle and then we'll go. She's not 18, bro. Okay, I'm going to. A lot of the concerns in my heart went away when Mori gave her cheerful reply. It's worth the risk to take her to town. I forgot my money pouch. I have something in my eye. When I opened my backpack to take out the bottle to fill it with water, I realized my money pouch isn't inside. What's the matter? You forgot something? Yes, I thought I brought it with me. Sorry about that. Wait here, I'll go back and get it. Okay. Indeed, the money pouch is on the desk. Usually I don't have the habit of taking it with me since there's no use for money on the mountain. That's probably why I forgot. Just when I'm about to retrieve my pouch, there's a ringing sound in my ears. All of a sudden, my feet become unsteady for a while, huh? I got up too early? It never happened before. Is it because I'm too tired lately? It looks like I'll need to give myself some time to relax. Otherwise, someone won't be alive to spend it after working so hard to earn that money. Wonder what happened. Wow, this is the city? Ooh. This is just a small town, not an actual city. My college is in the capital, which is a real big city. I think you won't run out of places to visit, even after touring it for an entire month. Really? That's so wonderful. Yes, let's go there together someday in the future. Good, it's a deal. What's this? As expected, Mori is drawn to by the street vendors in no time. This is called a candy figure. Go and choose one if you like. Young lady, come and take a look. Which one do you like? Candyman! Just when Mori is about to approach the candy stall, she got a fright by the vendor's enthusiastic yell and hide behind you. I'm sorry. The stall holder quickly apologizes. That's alright, she's just a little shy. I see, I'm really sorry about that, young man. How about you pick one for her? Me? There's a huge variety of candy figures in different shapes and forms. Anyone would feel dizzy if they had to choose one. Mori, which one would you like? I should ask her after all. Which one? Mori looks confused at the array of candy figures before her. Seems she's having trouble deciding on one. How about this one? I pick a candy fox for her. Is it cute? It seems foxes don't hate foxes. She's eating a fox. After we've left the candy stall, Mori is holding the candy figure in front of her and turning it while looking at it curiously. So now I know Spirit, she's visible to everybody, not just the ones she's putting herself to be visible to. Is it interesting? Look, does it look like a top when it turns fast enough? She's saying it while holding up the candy box and turning it very quickly in front of me. Good grief. Yes, don't turn it anymore, I feel dizzy. Hey, you're so weak. I won't show you. She holds it away from me in disapproval. No, anyone would feel dizzy. You're so weak. No. Huh? I can't let her look down on me. I need to teach her the candy figure's actual use. You're only playing it like a child. Let me tell you the ultimate way to play with a candy figure. What's that? It's edible. It's so sweet that I'm sure you'll have never tasted it. Try to suck it. This? That's right. You can even bite off the head too if you want. That's so awful. Doesn't look nice if its head is bitten off. Look at the kids who've bought their candy figures over there. They're eating it happily. Point to a bunch of kids who are holding candy figures in their hands. It's really hard to understand people. They would eat such beautiful things they've made themselves. Moreover, some of them also look like humans. Don't blame humans. Candy figures are made up of pure sugar, and it's totally for eating. But Mori is looking at the candy figure in front of her once again, and she's in dilemma. You ate this Creole before. It's okay to eat a candy figure. You'd still say it to laugh at me. No wonder you like to eat the same kind. Mori's face turns red. But no, we don't eat the same kind. We're just eating cane sugar, a type of sugar, not humans. Hey, what reasoning is that? I won't listen. Mori is clutching the candy figure tightly, and she's holding it far away from me. Watch out, hat! She might have been preoccupied in the candy figure. Mori's ears suddenly twitched, and her hat is in danger of falling off. When I suddenly yelled at her, Mori became flustered, and when she tried to hold the hat in place, and accidentally drops the candy figure. Candy figure has already hit the ground and broken into several pieces before I could grab it. Sorry. Never mind, I'll handle it. I gather the fragments of the broken candy figures into a handkerchief and want to throw them into a toilet afterwards. This is going to be thrown away? Of course, it is covered with dirt. Mori is still staring at the pieces of the candy figure, sadly. Don't worry, this isn't very expensive. Let's go back and buy another candy figure. No, it's okay, let's go somewhere else. She pulled down her hat nervously and spoke apprehensively. Maybe she's afraid to speak to that stall holder again. Fine, but you must be more careful after this. We are going to a place with even more people shortly. There are places with even more people? Yeah, such as the market in this town. There are all kinds of things. I go there every time to replenish my supplies when I come here. This time I'm going there too. Places with many people. Upon hearing this, Mori becomes more nervous and pulls down her hat again. Am I really alright for this? No problem, I'm here. You're right, Jan is still here. Let's go then. But you still need to be careful. Don't get the idea that you can depend on me for everything and afford to be careless. After all, there are many mad scientists among us. If you reveal yourself, they will catch you to perform experiments on you. I thought I could rely on you, and then you'd say something to frighten me. Mori is blushing and pouting. She'd often do this, which reminds me of that angry furball when I met her for the first time. And I chuckled. Why are you laughing? Thought up of an evil plan? No, I'm amused because you look so cute when you're blushing. Mori quickly looked away. Okay, let's go to the next place. We're going to the market now. Nope, the post office first. Post office? Is it fun? The post office is a place to send and receive things, not a place to have fun. Oh! By the way, there are a lot of people in the post office too. Don't get careless and reveal your ears and tail. I know. Jan, I'm a bit hungry. Is there anything to eat? We'll find a restaurant to have our meal after I finish my business at the post office. The stipend for the last month should be remitted by now. Restaurant? Yeah, a place where our professional chefs, they are better at preparing meals than me. Really? That's great. Then this girl heard there's something to eat. All the nervousness she had earlier is quickly forgotten. Are you satisfied? It's so delicious, fragrant, crispy, and sweet. Whoa! After our meal, we rest for a while and head for the next destination, the market. Seems you don't want to eat anything I cook in future? That isn't true. The food Jan makes is still in my list of delicious food. Fine. If Mori eats more human food, I think my roast fish might drop out of the list. Indeed, there are so many people. They are everywhere. Do you remember those solid, hard biscuits when we went out to search for the butterfly? I remember. They aren't delicious. And that appetizing roast chicken? The roast chicken is also found here. Mori looks as if she's going to drool again when she heard about the roast chicken. She just had lunch. That's right, but suddenly I see a big yellow tail stick out and almost scream. What's up? Mori has also noticed a distinct change in the facial expression. Your tail. I hurry over to hide her tail before anyone could notice it. I had wanted to put her tail inside her backpack, but the tail is swinging around randomly and there's no way I could catch it. Sorry, don't be nervous. Try to put your tail back. Mori, they don't really have fully control of their tails, and I'm assuming that based off of my dog. Mori hastily pushes her tail into the backpack. The hat! It wasn't easy for her to put her tail back, and her ears would pop out. It's really hard to hide the tail and ears at the same time. This girl will fumble when she is nervous. Her tail just pops out again in no time after putting it inside. That person looks like a dog, right? Uh-oh. Where? Did I miss it? Some people are starting to take notice. This is going to be troublesome. There are too many people. Quickly, let's go elsewhere. I drag Mori away from the crowd and find a quiet street corner. Sorry. Her tail's out! Mori is on the verge of tears. It's okay, no one's here. Let's sort ourselves out first. Jan, can you help me with it, please? Yes, what should I do? Help me put back my tail. I can hardly see it, and it's not easy for me. Okay, this is an exceptional circumstance. Don't blame me for breaking a promise. Grab her tail, and it is shaking again. Seems it isn't used to anyone touching it. Blame you for breaking a promise? That time, do you remember, we made a pinky promise that I'm not allowed to touch your ears and tail? You'd still care about this? That was before. Now we're already at that. Mori blushes suddenly. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. I understand. Don't move your tail. As we're talking, her tail slipped from my hands again. I can't control it when I'm nervous. I told you they don't have control over the fluffiness! It's really hard to put that huge tail into the backpack, even when I'm in a good position. Done! After spending a lot of time and effort, Mori's huge flocky tail is finally tucked inside. I can feel the sweat coming out of my hand. Okay, no problem. Let's go back to the market. Go back? Of course, I haven't bought the things we'll need for next week. And I haven't bought your favorite roast chicken yet either. Don't worry, this is your first time. It's normal to be nervous. You will get used to it. And we're going to visit the capital one day, right? There are more people in the capital, so we'd better practice dealing with the crowd now. If anything happens, I'll also help you the same way as just now. Don't be afraid. I will try my best. Okay, let's go. Ooh, what happened? Moria, already up? I thought this girl would sleep longer after yesterday's tiring trip to town, but she woke up earlier than me. Ooh, she's back in her other clothes. Morning. Why did you get up so early? Moria is walking towards me with a creel in her hand when I step out of this cabin. I forgot to collect this yesterday. You don't need to hurry. You can wait for me to wake up before we collect them together. Hurry over to take the creel from her, and there is some fish in it. We can cook them for lunch. I can't find anything to do after getting up, anyway. I can't possibly sit around and watch you lie there like a dead fish, right? I don't think I look that terrible when I'm sleeping. Seems Mori is also in a good mood today, so it's quite useful to make use of the changes in the surroundings to change a fox spirit's mood. Are we going out today? Nope, I plan to pore over the accumulated manuscripts from these past few days. And I care about the ringing in my ears from yesterday. After all, the cabin only has simple medication. It'd be troublesome if I really fall sick. Oh, then I'll stay here to read and keep you company. If I can often go to human civilization, that'll be great. Mori suddenly sighs. I wonder what she's reading. You just went there yesterday and you got so frightened at that time. You'd fall in love with human civilization so soon? I saw the box-like houses in town from the mountain before, but I didn't know until yesterday that there's a new world hidden in each box. We can go there often if you like. Really? We can go there together? But you need to hide your ears and tail. Got it. When I grow older, I will learn that magic to hide my ears and tail. Then I can play in human civilization all the time. Playing in human civilization isn't that simple. Hiding your ears and tail is not enough. What else do I need? Do you remember the paper and metal chips we gave to other people when we bought things yesterday? That money thing? Yeah, among humans, we need to get people to exchange most of their things with money, like candy figures, roast chicken, and food in the restaurants. If you don't give people money, they won't give you those. You have more money, you can exchange them for more things you desire. If you don't have money, you can't get anything. Money is so important, but where does that money come from? There are many ways. For common people like me, we earn money by working. Like Jan? This is one way. I'm not working full-time, so I can't get much money. But I get more than other students. I see, no wonder. Jan would always work day and night. Then the clothes you gave me are also bought with money? Yeah. Did you pay a lot of money for so many things? Well, it's still reasonable. I have a stipend from my work. I want to work, or you can't buy things for yourself if I keep spending your money. No, you can't for now. You need to be qualified to work. Nobody will let you work based on a casual remark. And my money is enough. Qualified? I'm as a diploma or certificate, you have to persuade someone to pay you for your work. I see, it's so troublesome. Mori continues to read thoughtfully. But she's not a human, she doesn't need to bother herself with human things. I don't know whether I'm tired because I have reading and writing since this morning or smoke got into my eye just now when I was cooking. What's wrong? I rub my eyes again. Mori looks kind of blurry. Nothing. Something wrong with your eyes? It's fine. I didn't get enough sleep this morning. I'll be fine after a short rest. Not enough sleep? Is it because of me? Of course not. There's a lot of paperwork recently. Don't think too much. I'll be fine after a nap. I'll tidy it. Go and sleep on the bed now. Upon thinking carefully, that blurred vision might have something to do with my tinnitus. I haven't slept well since I moved to the mountain. Anyway, time to go to bed and see if it will get better. Didn't expect to actually end up sleeping until dusk. Seems I'm really tired. You've woken up. How is it? Do you feel better? But Mori looks even more blurry. Yes, much better. Sorry, I think it's because I've been occupying your bed lately. No, this has nothing to do with you. I haven't entirely gotten used to living up in the mountain and work this too much. Upon mentioning my life in the mountain, I remember another possibility. I'd always eat solid food, pot herb, or roast fish. This diet that is lacking in variety could result in nutritional imbalance and diminution of vision. By the way, I suddenly remember I need to attend to something urgently, so I need to go to town tomorrow. Tomorrow? I'm going to? I'm not having fun there. I won't disturb you. Please let me go with you. It's really urgent. I have to go there and come back quickly. You'd better stay here. If you'd like to eat something to eat, I'll buy them for you. You don't want me to go with you because I almost got you into trouble? Mori suddenly becomes depressed. Of course not. I told you I'll bring you to town very often, right? This thing is very urgent. I have to see someone, so it's not convenient to bring you along. Maybe another day, okay? Don't be so disappointed. Think about it. You only need to stay in the cabin for a while, and I'll bring you the roast chicken that's at the top in your list. I'm also only going there for a day, and we'll be back at dusk. If I can hitch a ride, I might even return by in the afternoon. By then, you can have your delicious roast chicken. Aren't you looking forward to that? As long as you can come back soon, the roast chicken isn't that important. Indeed, I'm going to see a person, the doctor in town. My body only has some mild symptoms right now, but it's better to see a qualified doctor than to guess in a case of serious problem arises later on. But if I tell Mori the truth, she would feel very worried about me. Then all that effort to get her in a good mood over the past 2 days would be wasted. Everything went smoothly when I saw the doctor. I also encountered a carriage which gave me a lift on the way back. But the diagnosis was a bit disappointing. The doctor told me this: "Young lad, you are very healthy. There's nothing wrong with you." In my heart, it feels strange when the vision was tested at the clinic. I could see the visual chart very clearly. But before I left, the doctor reminded me to have a balanced diet, don't always eat the same thing, and advised me to buy a recipe book on nutritious food from the bookstore in town. When I'm back at the cabin, Mori isn't outside. But the door is open. I think she's probably inside, and enter immediately. She fell asleep while reading. Should I wake her up and tell her to sleep on the bed? No. When I go over to wake her up, a book is visible through her body. What's going on? I look elsewhere around the cabin. Everything else is clearly visible. Huh? But Mori is blurry, and Mori looks even more blurry than yesterday. At least Mori's body wasn't transparent for me to see the objects behind her yesterday. Maybe my eyes aren't playing tricks on me, but there is something wrong with Mori? Should I ask her? Young? Oh, you've woken up. You finished your business? It's done. Well, what's wrong? Do you feel if there's anything unusual with your body? No. Why? Try taking a look at your hand. What's wrong with my hand? What can you see through your hand? How can I see anything through my hand blocking my sight? Are you trying to make fun of me again? Mori doesn't seem to know she has become transparent. Is there something wrong with me? No, nothing. I was just asking. Are you a bit strange today? Really? I brought something delicious for you. I realize there's nothing more for me to find out by asking her further, and it might make her feel worried, so I changed the subject. I mean, she looks fine in this picture. Roast chicken? Upon hearing of something delicious, Mori jumps up from the floor and is staring at me unexpectedly. Let me see. I put down this search through my backpack. I'm certain I bought something for her. Strange. I have searched through my bag, but there is nothing to eat. I only have a book with the title, Healthy Delights. This is delicious, isn't it a book? Yes, it's a book. Shame on me, I kept thinking of my eyes this morning. I forgot to buy roast chicken for Mori. This book can teach you how to cook delicious food. If you follow the book, you can cook more delicious food than me. Really? Mori takes the book skeptically. Some tomatoes, some salt, a medium of spring onion. How much is a medicum? Mori is reading the recipe book instantly. Well, that means a small amount. Tomato, I've never seen it before in the mountain. We can buy it in the market. Then we'll go buy it next time and cook this. Okay. I don't know if I can cook well. We can. Mori is looking forward to cook those dishes in the recipe book, but if she is getting more transparent, I won't be able to see her one day. There are simpler dishes in the back of the book. Young, let's try one out tonight. Okay. What's going on? There's nothing wrong with my eyes. There's nothing wrong with Mori. But Mori is transparent when I look at her. What's going on? I can't figure out what's wrong. I feel upset and can't sleep well. Is the floor cold? No. It seems my tossing and turning has woken Mori up. You've been behaving strangely today. Did something happen while you were working? No, nothing. Why did you ask me about my work? You behaved strangely after you came back from town today. You seem to be thinking about something else, really? Yes, when you were cooking, you kept staring at the firewood while thinking of something else. And the fire almost died out. Whoops. Let me get back. You still didn't get enough sleep? Never mind. Yeah, speaking of cooking, you said you wanted to learn how to cook because you want to cook something delicious for Lord Skyfox. Mori is a fox spirit. that Lord Skyfox is a knowledgeable elder fox spirit. Should I ask him directly about fox spirit? That was back then. Now I don't want to cook for Lord Skyfox. I only want to cook for Jan. Really? I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know how to find Lord Skyfox. Mori mentioned both of them live in a shrine in the mountains, but I don't know the exact location. Forget it. I'll ask her again tomorrow morning. Mori has become more transparent today as expected. I am running out of time. Why did you take this job? Mori suddenly spoke first when I'm thinking on what to say. This job? I think there are more interesting things in town than this mountain. If I were you, I would have chosen to work in town. Yes, many people think so too. I chose this maybe because I had an experience when I was a child. What were you like when you were a child? Right, I haven't told Mori about my childhood. When I was a kid, I lived in a small village. The village is smaller than that of a town. At that time, I'd walk through a mountain pass to go to school in the morning and walk back home. There were dense forests on two sides. I liked to play like you and always went to catch insects in the forest. After catching all kinds of insects, I wanted to learn their behavior, their habitat, their diet. That's how I chose natural history. You liked to catch insects when you were a kid? I remember I'd often lose track of the time while catching insects, and my mother would shout along the mountain pass to call me to return home for dinner. When you were small, would Lord Skyfox call you loudly when you were late and coming home too? Lord Skyfox wouldn't even look for me. I see. When I mentioned Lord Skyfox, Mori's face clouded over. She didn't want to talk about this fox spirit. The differences between them are so huge. But now isn't the time to stop my inquiry. I need to find Lord Skyfox and ask for help since I can't wait any longer. By the way, speaking of Lord Skyfox, you said he's in a shrine in a mountain. Where's the shrine? My predecessors never found it. Lord Skyfox doesn't like human beings, so Lord Skyfox has concealed this area around the shrine. You'll never find it. Oh, I never thought Lord Skyfox was so powerful. He can even conceal it? Mori suddenly stopped, and I almost bumped into her. What's up? What did you see? No wonder you behaved so strangely these past few days and kept talking about Lord Skyfox. Perhaps you wanted to send me back to Lord Skyfox? No. I didn't mean that. I just suddenly thought of it. Don't dwell too much. I will never mention that big fox again. I don't want to stay with Lord Skyfox, and I don't want to go back to that shrine anymore. If you want to drive me away too, no, I definitely won't. Mori, whatever happens, I hope you can always stay at my side. Really? Of course. We made a deal, didn't we? When my field of work is over, we'll go to the capital together. I want to be with you forever too. Of course, I also want to be with you forever. This visual novel is so similar to one I've read before. It's weird. Because I've only done visual novels and made videos about them. So every single one I've made a video about. And what's weird is I never found any visual novels about foxes on my YouTube channel. It's weird. Really, really weird. Weird. My heart hurts when I look at Mori, who is smiling through tears and looking forward to the future. How am I going to tell her I won't be able to see her soon? So he knows something about the spirit thing. Didn't get much from today's outing. I sighed while handling the newly acquired butterfly specimen from today. This isn't good. The butterfly's wings are slightly broken, affecting the integrity of the pattern. Well, I'll supplement this specimen next time. Speaking of which, I received my stipend the other and another envelope from my mentor during the previous trip to the post office. I was so tired that day I left it among the pile of papers and didn't open it. After that, I became preoccupied with Mori and totally forgot about it. Maybe there is a new task in the letter. I can't ignore the job no matter how many things are troubling me. I remember I dropped it here. Jan, the work logs have been filed. You recorded it in great detail. But the letter only has the usual formal acknowledgments. Maybe my mentor also felt 35 RMB isn't much for someone staying in the cabin. So he tried to comfort me. Really, I'm not a kid. And you'd still do this? I heard that you paid a visit to Mr. Wang on my behalf. Mr. Wang? I suddenly remembered the words his coachman told me on the way back. When he was young, he also went to the mountain. He was seduced by a vixen. Isn't a vixen also a fox spirit? Why didn't I think of him? If what the coachman said back then is true, maybe that old gentleman could give me a lead. It's not too late to do so. I plan to ask Mr. Wang tomorrow. It's time to eat. What are you reading? Why are you laughing? Nothing. My mentor praised me in the letter and I got a bit carried away. Really? You really did like his job? In actual fact, I set off on the mountain before daybreak, and one reason is to avoid Mori since she might pester me into bringing her along. The other reason is to give me enough time to ask Mr. Wang. Hope that old gentleman has really met a fox spirit, and judging from our last meeting, Mr. Wang had a special interest in the mountain, which means he's expecting something. Most logical conclusion, he wanted to know whether the vixen he met is still in the mountain, and whether there's any news of it and such. So it's right to ask him. Hello, I'm Professor Lee's student. He wants me to visit Mr. Wang on his behalf. Oh, it's you. You came here last time, right? Welcome, the old master is inside. Upon recognizing my mentor's name, my previous visit to the door with Mr. Wang Jing, the doorman leads me directly to the living room without giving me any difficulty. Oh, you are young. What happened? What brings you here today? Mr. Wang is drinking tea at a regular pace. He waves his hand in motion to the doorman to leave us alone after seeing me. Mr. Wang, how do you do? I'm here because of a personal matter this time. Please forgive me. Yes, what is it? How can this old man help? Sir, I heard you met a vixen when you were young. Is that true? I thought naturalists, especially old Lee's students, are immersed in scientific materialism and would turn up their noses at those spiritual or ghostly things. You are right, but the vixen or the fox spirits are not ghost stories, they truly exist. Upon hearing of fox spirits, Mr. Wang's hand suddenly trembles a bit. Fox spirits? Yes, to tell you the truth, I met a fox spirit in the mountain a month ago. She looks just like a human, but she also has 2 fox ears and a tail. I described Mori's appearance to him in case he misunderstands. Fox spirit. After hearing this, Mr. Wang mutters something, sigh, and closes his eyes. So he has had the same experience, I think. Since you have met her, what are you going to do with her? Do to her? Are you going to catch her? No, you are mistaken. Only I know about the fox spirit, and I have said that I have come here because of a personal matter. What is that? Fox spirit I met is gradually disappearing before my eyes. Disappear? She's gradually becoming more transparent day by day. I have very deep feelings for this fox spirit. I fear that one day I will not be able to see her. But my knowledge of fox spirits is very limited, and I have no idea on what to do. By chance, I heard that you have seen a fox spirit before, so I wanted to consult you about this matter. After hearing my explanation, the old gentleman is quiet and seems lost in thought. Sorry I'm a bit rash. I didn't think beforehand that this matter involves your privacy. Never mind. The old gentleman shakes his head. Indeed, I have met a fox spirit, but something like this disappearing thing you told me is new to me, so my experience may not necessarily help you at all. So this thing where Mori is gradually disappearing isn't inevitable. Do you know the name of that fox spirit you mentioned? She's called Mori. Oh, not her. The old gentleman sighs softly. You mean you met another fox spirit? Don't tell me besides Mori and that, Lord Skyfox, there are other fox spirits. Yes, her name is Ruri. When I first met her, I was around the same age as you. How time flies, 50 years have just gone like the wind. Mr. Wang slowly narrates an event in the past, a story between an intellectual who collapsed from the exhaustion after a long trudge, and a fox spirit who saved him and looked after him. I waited for her for 5 days and 5 nights and didn't see her, and if I waited any longer, I would miss the closing date to enter the capital. I continued my journey alone. We've been separated ever since. No matter how I tried to find her, there's no sign of her. The gentleman closes his eyes and sighs after sharing his experience with me. Mr. Wang, sorry, I didn't expect the story between this old gentleman and that fox spirit Ruri ended up with regrets. She didn't gradually disappear. She suddenly disappeared without giving a chance to say goodbye. Never mind, many years have passed since. I know there's no chance to meet her again. I just hope she's still living happily in this world. You don't need to worry. Mori told me fox spirits have very long lifespans. Ruri is quite certain to be still alive. Maybe Mori might even know her. Really? The old gentleman leans his body forward and stares at me. Then he leans back. Even though maybe she had her reasons for not being able to see me again. A lot of things have changed since. She may not recognize me now. That's the end of my sad story. Normally no one would ever understand, and I couldn't either. Now that you listen to me, I just keep telling you what happened years ago. I'm kind of relieved, but I wonder whether this thing which took place a long time ago is helpful to you. Yes, it is helpful. I'm grateful that you could tell me everything you know. All right. The old gentleman ruminates for a while. Suddenly, he opens his mouth to speak. Not many people have seen fox spirits. No matter how things will turn out eventually, you should treasure the time you have with her and care for her. Don't end up having plenty of regrets like me. It's too late by then. After leaving Mr. Wang's house, I immediately hurry back to the cabin. In fact, Mr. Wang's story didn't help me much, except I've learned there's another fox spirit called Ruri. Also, the ending between Ruri and Mr. Wang is the same as disappearing. So for human beings, the fox spirits we encounter will certainly disappear eventually. If so, it's basically impossible for Mori and me to have a future together. Though I have made a promise to be with her forever, how can I keep this promise if she disappears? Should I give up on Mori gradually, since there is no happy ending between us? Just let time wash away everything? This is kind of sad. Just take it that I've never seen her before. Mori? When I'm back at the cabin, Mori isn't outside. The note I left for Mori this morning is still in the desk. The note has this message. I have something to do in town. I'll come back in the evening and we'll have dinner together. If Mori has seen this, she should be back by now, even if she went out to play during daytime. Maybe I can't see her already? Mori? Chest suddenly hurt so soon. Why does it have to be today? Why does it have to be today when I'm not with her? Why does it have to be today when I need to leave her? Mori, why is such a coincidence? Is there a God that determines all these things? Mori? Treasure her, care for her. Mr. Wang's words start to echo in my mind. I regret it so much, but at this point, what can I do other than shout out her name loudly? Right. Did she go to the river to collect the creoles? Mori? By following the river outside the cabin, I finally see a pair of familiar fox ears after running there. Pain in my heart was relieved. She's still there. That's great. She's still here. She is sitting quietly in the grass alone. Her fox ears are slouched in her head. Though I can only see her figure, I can still feel her loneliness. Sorry, I shouldn't leave you alone. You're here. Jan, you're back. Mori has noticed me and turns around her head to me. The evening sun is painting a contour of her, shining so brightly that I can't see her expression clearly. Sorry, I left you alone again. Doesn't matter. You went out because you need to work. I intend to confess everything to Mori. When I see her smiling face, I can't utter a single word. I know in the human world, work is a very important thing. Really? Have you finished your work? All done, Mori. Great. So you don't need to go out tomorrow? No need. Then I can see Jan when I get up tomorrow morning? Mori? Jan, I'm afraid of the day when I can't see you upon opening my eyes. Sorry, I shouldn't have slipped out, but I'm afraid that one day you will suddenly disappear and never come back again. Sorry, I'm in the wrong. I will never do this again. Jan, do you think human beings and fox spirits can be together forever? Well, why not? Maybe Mori has found out something? Lord Skyfox once told me fox spirits can't be together with human beings. I thought that's wrong, so I left Lord Skyfox and stayed with you. Is that so? I wanted to tell Lord Skyfox that fox spirits can be with human beings as long as they love each other. But now I'm afraid maybe Lord Skyfox is right to say that. Why? We are still together, right? I don't know, I just think Jan is getting further and further from me. Who knows whether you might disappear one day. Mori sure does have good intuition. But Mr. Wong's story and Lord Skyfox's warning lead me to one conclusion: humans and fox spirits can never be together, and I can't refute this. Jan, can you hook your fingers with mine? Hook fingers? When we first met, you said this is a way to make a promise between human beings. Oh, what promise do you want to make? Give me your hand. I stretch out hand and Mori stretches out hers. Our fingers cross. If you are leaving one day, please tell me this. Please tell me first. Same for me. If I'm leaving, I'll tell you first. Mori, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to make such a promise. I pull my hand, back my hand. Jan? Mori's finger is like air and passes through my finger. Why? Why is this happening? Mori tried several times, but it's the same. We couldn't touch each other again. What's wrong with me? Jan, what's wrong with me? The severity of the situation is far more than I expected. My mind is totally blank, like something is blocking my thoughts. Jan? Mori is looking at me with a panicked expression. She's begging me for help. What should I do? Now she can only rely on me. I must answer her. I must calm down. Mori, don't be afraid. I must think of a solution for my investigation over the past few days. I'm going to try any possible method. In this mountain besides you and Lord Skyfox, there is another fox spirit called Ruri. She got in touch with human beings before. Do you know her? Ruri? That name sounds familiar. Ruri, isn't that Lord Skyfox's name? How do you know of this? Lady Skyfox? That Lord Skyfox you told me? Of course, there isn't another Lord Skyfox. But you said Lady Skyfox hated human beings, right? This Ruri didn't seem to hate human beings. She didn't hate human beings. She had even fallen in love with one. So that's the whole situation. He said it's happened before, but they can't connect with each other because they eventually disappear from each other because of the spirit, but they eventually grew together to have... They loved each other, but you know what happened, so kind of sucks. I tell Mori everything about how she's increasingly transparent and my investigation at Mr. Wong's house. Is this really Lady Skyfox? Mori is a bit puzzled after hearing my account. Since she liked that gentleman so much, why did she leave him in this end? Don't know either. But one thing is certain. Ruri once took great pains to look after that scholar who collapsed from exhaustion on his way to the capital. Her affection was deeper than ordinary couples. It wasn't something a fox spirit who hated human beings would do. So you were investigating this matter in secret lately. Sorry, I didn't want you to worry. Jan, I want to be with you, not only to play with you, but also to share your difficulties, okay? Sorry, I acted on my own. Yet, if Lady Skyfox doesn't hate humans, then she would probably help us. I suppose. Let's go find her tomorrow. Okay, we will start off early. Yay, we finally get to meet Lady Skyfox. Let's go! Next day, we're on our way to Lady Skyfox's shrine. Not Lord Skyfox, Lady Skyfox. After taking a simple meal. You've said that Lady Skyfox has concealed the shrine and humans won't find it. Yes, but if you follow me, we'll find it. Really? But I'm still a bit worried. Lady Skyfox didn't approve our relationship. So do you think she would help us? She's supposed to be reasonable. Should be fine as long as we ask for her help earnestly. Besides, she definitely still cares about you. She's raised you after all. I follow Mori into the forest and the scenery around me gradually changes. No doubt, I've never been here before. Human, stop. You are not welcome here. Suddenly a soft but clear voice comes from afar and reaches my ears. Oh, damn. Let's go. And then a dignified and stern-looking fox spirit who seems unapproachable appeared before me. That's gotta be Lady Skyfox. No cap. Is this Lady Skyfox? Mori is hiding behind me as if she's reluctant to face Lady Skyfox. Hello? I have to greet her out of courtesy. Mori, since you've arrived, ask this human to leave. The proud Lady Skyfox is simply ignoring me. And Mori doesn't want to talk to Ruri as she's just hiding behind me. Hello there. We've come here to ask for your help. When Mori and Ruri aren't saying anything to each other, I have to try my best to say something. Just leave, there's nothing I can do for you. But I want to know why Mori is gradually disappearing and why I can't touch her. It's the law of nature. Law of nature? Fox spirits and humans live in two different worlds and can't develop steady relationships. Your coexistence is merely a temporary illusion. Is there a way? There is. You should give up, go back to your own world, and never contact Fox spirits again. But, I mean, I want to live in Fox spirit world, no cap. No cap. Let me take a dip into Fox spirit world, please. Mori, don't be willful either. Stay away from this human from now onwards. I'm not willful at all, Mori answered Ruri with a quiver in her voice from behind. I like Mori more. Yeah, I like Mori more. I don't know why. There are some things that can be done and some things that cannot be done. You should know that too. But how do we know it can't be done if we don't try? You've already tried, haven't you? It's not over yet. It's over by now. You also know the result. Why don't you give up? I'll never give up until the last minute. Do you think the result will be different if you persist? Stop being willful. I hate you. Mori jumps out from behind all of a sudden and goes over to Ruri. New thumbnail things. Lady Skyfox, you don't care about my feelings and don't respect my decisions at all. You'd only think of turning me into another Lady Skyfox too. That's why I hate you. Mori, I'm not going to stay with you. I'd rather go with Jan. Even if he can't see me, you can see me. But you don't care about me. That's why I hate you. After saying it in one go, Mori runs away without waiting for Ruri's response. Ruri just quietly looks on as Mori runs away. Mori, I have no choice but to run after Mori. Damn it. Oh, she is starting to get transparent. A little bit. Yeah, she is starting to get transparent now in this scene. Sorry, I messed it up. When I go back to the cabin, Mori is pacing to me and fro anxiously. That's alright, as long as you're back here with me, we'll definitely find a way. Lady Skyfox was so stubborn that I got angry and I couldn't control myself. I'm really useless. Chill out. It's not exactly realistic either to expect Lady Skyfox to change her attitude and help us all of a sudden. But we're running out of time. I'm scared that you can't see me all of a sudden. Take your time. We can try it again if it doesn't work this time, and try it again after that. It's not as if we can't find her. But do you really think she's Ruri? Perhaps she's just a namesake. Nope, it must be her. But from her tone, I don't think we can change her mind. I couldn't sense any warmth she has for humans in actual fact. She wants to separate us and won't change her mind in the first place. In fact, this is exactly what she wants. As long as Lady Skyfox is Ruri, there's a way. A way? Do you remember that day when you gave me new clothes? Yep. Why, I was very happy that day and immediately went to show her. But she just became very mad at me and asked me to stop seeing humans. Her response is the same as today. Right? Her thinking hasn't changed. Who knows if she's behind this whole thing? Hold on, you mean she did it? I'm only guessing, but if it's not beyond her capacity to do it, because she's so powerful. In retrospect, Mori began to fade after I took her to town, and a weird reaction happened to me that day. At first I thought it was from fatigue, but it only happened once. That reaction might even be caused by some kind of mysterious spell. Truthfully, what you've said might be true. I tell Mori what I just remembered. If that's really the case, how can we stop her? Mori also said Lady Skyfox is a powerful spellcaster. If she insists on having her way, There is no way to break the spell. Why did she forbid fox spirits from staying with humans in the first place? Beats me, she only told me fox spirits couldn't stay with humans because fox spirits and humans are in different worlds. You've heard all these today. If she really had a relationship with Mr. Wong, she definitely wouldn't have thought so at first. Probably something happened. Perhaps there's a misunderstanding between Lady Skyfox and Mr. Wong, otherwise she wouldn't have left without saying goodbye, right? You're right, but what is the misunderstanding? Mr. Wong didn't mention anything about a misunderstanding when he shared his story. I get it. Mori springs over to me as if she grabbed a life-saving plant. Regardless of what misunderstandings they both have, if we let them meet face to face, the problem will be solved. We can try. Once Lady Skyfox can acknowledge humans, she will let us go and help us break the spell. But she doesn't want to see humans, right? How can we make them see each other? Well, let's figure it out together. Okay. Ever since we agreed on the plan, Mori went back to fix the relationship with Ruri. I wonder whether she can make it. Although I'm not sure about it. I'm lurking in the grass near a hot spring at the appointed time Mori arranged. It's been more than an hour, but nobody is here. I checked my pocket watch. From what I've seen, there are less than 2 hours left based on the average time the mail coach will go through the mountains each day. This means I might not catch the coach in time, even if I get my hands on it and rush to it. Did Mori forget the time? Right, that girl doesn't have a watch, so she won't know the time. How could I forget such an important thing? The more I think about it, the plan seems to have more flaws. At this point, I have no trust in my luck now. Do you normally play at such distant places? Just when I'm feeling uneasy, there's a reserved voice in the distance. Yeah, this is a secret base, Lady Skyfox. I'm only showing it to you for today. It's Mori's voice. They have come. I quickly lie prone and hold my breath. When they step into the pool. What do you think of it? Do you love it? It feels good, indeed. It's a nice secret base. Really? It's good if you like it. I know what you're thinking. Aren't you thinking about that human? I don't want to make things difficult for you on purpose, but there are many things you can't do. There are so many obstacles that will come between you that they're enough to bring endless suffering to you. For example, no matter how cute the cats and dogs are, they can't accompany humans forever. Even if for a fox spirit like me, I can't accompany you all the time either, let alone a human, since the time you spend with one is such shorter. I understand. Are you even listening to me? Yes, I'm listening. Hold up. That's a better thumbnail now. Are your eyeballs are shifting around? What are you looking at? I'm not looking at anything. A sparrow seems to be flying around. What a naughty kid. Lady Skyfox, you're too quiet. That's why you've been cooping yourself in the mountain for too long to find such a place. I found it before you. You're right. You'd always stay in the shrine. You never ever thought about going somewhere else? I've been to many places at your age. Really? But you've never told me. Yes, I can't remember that far back. It's fine. We can go back to those places together and jog your memory. Indeed, you're still a child. Many things would disappear over time. Even if we go to the same place, I might not remember anything. Your sorrow and joy are simply written on your face. It's really cute. What are you saying? You'll grow up someday, and you'll forget lots of things. But don't be sad, because you will have memories that are more beautiful when you forget those things. But those bad memories deserve to be forgotten. You might forget me if you dislike me one day. Right. I will forget everything about you. You will also forget everything about me. No way, I don't want to forget you. Let's talk about it when you're more grown up. I won't forget you. What is that? Nothing. It must be the sparrow. Is that so? Did you do it on purpose? What did I do on purpose? You thought I couldn't get it, so you changed the subject to talk about the sparrow. Nonsense. But you are right. You can't get it yet. I shouldn't have told you all these. Lady Skyfox. By the way, do you love hunting birds recently? No, I am not a child. From what I see, you haven't grown up all this while. Oh boy, I was rather quiet just now and so nearly got busted by Ruri. Luckily, Mori saved me by shouting. She can't find me from here. Less than 1.5 hours left before the carriage comes. I don't know whether I can catch it. I've managed to get here after such difficulty. I can't let Mori's efforts go to waste. Let me show you what a human can do. Mr. Wong, good evening. And while you're here, you're gasping some tea and say it slowly. Thank you. I notice my hand is shaking when I receive the teacup. I almost got trampled in the mud when I dashed out in front of the horse to stop the mail coach more than 1 hour ago, and then got questioned at gunpoint. Now that I'm safe and sound at Mr. Wong's house and holding the warm teacup, I feel scared when I reflect on my harrowing experience. Drink the tea slowly, trying to calm down. What's up? Is it about the fox spirit? Yeah, look at this. I take a few deep breaths, then take a piece of jade from inside my pocket. This jade with a special design belongs to Ruri. According to Mori, Ruri usually fastens it at her waist and would stroke it whenever she's looking in the distance. It must be something important to her. Those who know her well will definitely recognize the jade. What is this? You don't recognize this piece of jade? From Mr. Wong's response, it seems he doesn't recognize the jade. Where is it? Anything that she's touched or anything that's hers, he can't see. Oh, this is some bullshit. It's right in front of you. I hold the jade closer to Mr. Wong. The weird thing is he can't see it. Is there something in your hands? You can't see it? I'm holding Ruri's jade. Yes, I'm holding it now, right before your eyes. Strange, that's strange indeed. You said you are holding something, but I can't see anything. How odd. The old gentleman blinks and looks carefully at my hand again, then shakes his head. In that case, it doesn't matter. I'll draw it. You'll definitely recognize it. The pattern of the jade is exquisite, but it's not complicated. I take out my notebook and pencil and sketch the main parts of the book. It's just a drawing from the characteristics of plants I'd normally draw out on the field. Look. This. Mr. Wong takes the drawing and looks at it carefully. How did you get it? You saw her. Where is she? Who's this? I mean, that's her, but she'll come here soon. It's an important item to Ruri. She will definitely come. She'll come here? Sir, don't worry. I glance at the door while saying it and suddenly notice Ruri is right behind. She's staring at Mr. Wong impassively. Are you sure she will come? If she comes, wouldn't it be improper of me to appear before her like this? Mr. Wong begins to straighten his clothes as if he's going to welcome an important guest. But isn't the guest right in front of him? So she's there, and he can't see her. Is this okay for me? Then he tidies his sleeve and gray hair. He's booming. You look vigorous. Good, good. He lowers his head and strokes the drawing of the jade gently. Mr. Wong really can't see Ruri. How should I explain to him that Ruri's already here? Let's go. Don't disturb him any further. But Ruri interrupted me before I could sort out my thoughts. She's still indifferent as if it's none of her business. But he can't see me. Don't waste your time. What's wrong? The old gentleman seems puzzled at my reaction and looks up. He follows my gaze to look at the door. She's coming. She? Say no more. Follow me. Ruri stops me from saying anything by pressing her fingers into my hips and tries to drag me away. I won't go. I'm not going. You can't leave either. Then I raise her jade. Right now it feels as if I'm Ling Xiangru, a famous diplomat in ancient China who threatened to destroy a priceless jade artifact and himself to prevent a king from taking the jade by force. I'm not alone. If you insist on leaving, I'll smash this jade. You! Ruri is stunned at my actions and stares at the jade dumbfounded. Yan, who are you talking to? Don't tell me it's her. It's Ruri? Mr. Wong is also stunned by my roar. Ruri is here? She's here? Yes, she's in front of you. Ruri, are you really here? The old gentleman becomes silent while the air in the room seems to be frozen. Rui. Finally, he closes his eyes and murmurs at Rui as if he has felt something. Rui, it's really you. Although I can't see you, I can sense your presence. It's you. You're finally here. I wanted to say a lot of things to you, but now that you're really here, I can't remember what I wanted to say. How many years has passed since the last time we saw each other? Do you look the same as before? Are your two pointed ears still lively? Does your tail still move all the time as before? I can hardly remember you. She, an affectionate form of address for Mr. Wang's first name. Stop saying it. I'm definitely quite different from before. Look at my white hair, beard, and wrinkles. Are you surprised to see me like this? Actually, it's fine. Everyone would grow old and look like this. It's the law of nature. As the saying goes, there are a few years left for a man past his 60s. One could almost count them on their fingers. Stop it. I've been living all these years and I've learned a lot. I have come in terms with life and death. But there's one thing. For a long time I've been thinking about what happened back then. Did something happen to you, or did I miss something? If I had waited for you for one more day or one more month, would you return to me? If I cared for you, would we see each other again in less than 50 years? No. I really regret it. Why did I let you return alone that night? Why didn't I accompany you throughout that night? Would we avoid such a painful separation if I had persisted on it a bit more? No, Aji, it's not your fault. Over the last 50 years, I always think about you, where you are, how you're doing, whether you're happy or not. But as times went by, you began to fade away in my memories. I began to forget your voice and smile. I wish you had forgotten everything about me. Why do you keep torturing yourself? But fortunately, you're finally here. Why? Rui burst into tears while hearing Mr. Wang's monologue. Her teardrops are flowing down her cheeks through Mr. Wang's fingers to the ground. It's just like the time when Mori and I made a pinky promise and my finger passed through her finger. Is this really how humans and fox spirits will eventually turn out? Even Lady Skyfox has to accept this result quietly? Rui, why are you crying? Wait, what? Rui, I see you. Mr. Wang seemed to have felt something and suddenly opened his eyes. Rui's tears are flowing down and some of her teardrops are splashing on his hand. Wait, what? You can see me? Yes, you look the same as before, Rui. It's you. What's going on? What happened just now? Without further ado, I rush out even though it's dark. I have to tell Mori right now, it's a turning point. By the time I return to the foot of the mountain, after running like crazy, I'm so exhausted that my legs feel as if they're separate from my body, and each step I take is like a robot. The forest trail at night is always scary each time I look at it, but now it looks no different from daytime. Nothing can stop me from returning as soon as possible. The excitement is prevailing over the fatigue and fear. I want to return to Mori. I can't wait to tell her the news. Mori! But when I arrive at the cabin, it's dark inside and there's no sign of her. Mori? The only answer I got is still rustling of the leaves. I'm relying on the moonlight to look for that figure which pointed ears. Are you there? I've searched the cabin, the river, the grass, everywhere Mori might hide. I found Mori before by searching for her this way, but the only thing I can see tonight is endless darkness. Suddenly, I'm quivering and my legs can't support my body. It's like a broken puppet. I fall down. Mori? She's really disappeared this time, without saying goodbye, without waving at me. The time has finally come. I've wondered numerous times on when it would come and how Mori would disappear before my eyes. I thought I'm ready for it no matter how heartbreaking it would be. However, it came so quietly without any warning. By now there is no doubt about it. It didn't even give me any time to spend my remaining moments with her. I'm panting helplessly while lying on the grass. I'm looking up at the round moon and the indistinct stars. Even the distant stars are shining. Mori used to stay within my sight. Now there's no trace of her. I close my eyes and try to picture her in my head. How she looks when she's smiling, How she looks when she's crying, how she looks when she's shy, how she looks when she's embarrassed. As the hot sweat evaporates, cold wind feels refreshing. Suddenly a familiar feeling is welling up, while the cold wind in the mountain at the night is blowing at me. That feeling. I concentrate on the feeling of the breeze. I remember that night when we caught the licensed butterfly and I was closest to her. It's you. That time the air around me was so refreshing. Although I can't hear you, you must be right beside me. I think I'm calming down gradually. Do you still remember? I've told you, as long as you're here with me, we'll definitely find a way. Even though I can't see you anymore, there's hope as long as we're together. Don't be afraid. I already know it's not an ending, but an inevitable stage for us. And it will come to an end. I will definitely see you again. You must be curious on why I'm so sure. Because Lady Skyfox showed me a reunion that's late for 50 years just now. I know humans and fox spirits can pass through that wall, which makes them inevitable to each other, and they can see each other again. You must be curious on how they did it. I'm sure it has to do with their will. Both of them must be strongly desired to touch each other at that moment. With their strong interlinking feelings, they've crossed the boundaries between humans and fox spirits. Thus, if we share the same belief that we will meet again one day, that day will come. Since Mr. Wong and Rory could do it, Mori and I should be able to do it too, right? Regardless of when and where, I will keep believing in it. Whether it's 10, 20, or 50 years later, I will keep waiting for you. According to my mentor's wishes, I need to go to the licensed butterfly's habitat today to make a supplementary record. Since you dislike the scent from the trees over here, you don't have to follow me, just wait outside. I'm only here to get some samples. Previously, I was preoccupied with the butterflies, so how does he actually know she's really there, though? Is she like a make-believe friend now? Make a garland if you're bored. I know Mori likes to make garlands with the flowers around here, but if she picks the flowers I could see are those she picked as well. Is the world the same in my eyes and her eyes? It's said that in optical physics, researchers use different polarizing filters to achieve different polarization states. I get different images from the same light source. Do human's eyes differ from fox spirit's eyes like polarizing filters? Suddenly I have a stomach ache. Is it because I drank a cup of cold water this morning? Going to answer the call of nature, stay here. Been a rewarding day. Will satisfy our taste buds. After a day of field work, I'm back at the cabin to check the creeks that were placed yesterday and set to cook my dinner. I haven't taught you properly on how to cook human dishes until now. I'll show you today. I'm slicing the descaled fish while explaining it to an empty space in front at the same time. Won't be making roast fish today. It is basic and bad for our health if we eat too much of it. So for today, let's make sliced fish congee. My stomach isn't well today, so I've decided to make something easy to digest. The correct way to make a porridge is to let it simmer with a clay pot. But we can't meet this condition, so we'll just have to use a more primitive method. In fact, I haven't cooked it before. I'm following the instructions on the cookbook that I bought the other time. Let's hope it won't look that bad. If you can make it, your gourmet list will definitely have more content added to it. I preserve the fish fillets in salt, and then make a fire to boil the water. Watch and learn. I can't cook directly for you now. You'll have to do it on your own. Don't eat weeds, wild fruits, or insects. You need to look after your digestive tract well. I wonder whether she can eat the food I cook. What's more, don't eat all of it. Share some with Lady Skyfox too. What happened with Wong and Lady Skyfox? And then, is Mori actually there? Mori has disappeared for almost a week. Each day brings us closer to the reunion. Oh yes, you finished reading this book. I noticed the book Mori read a long time ago is lying on the ground near the table. I'll give you another one. I put the book back on the bookshelf and placed a new book on the ground. This book describes maritime explorations and discovery. You've been living in the mountain all this while. You probably haven't seen the seas. The sea has plenty of water as far as the eye can see, But unlike the river in the mountains, the sea is too salty to drink. When I finish my work and get my holiday, I'll take you to see the sea. They spelled that wrong. One can't see the real sea, there we go, from books since they see is so vast and has those roaring waves. I help Mori flip through the books and imagine she's dizzy and puzzled. I can't help smiling to myself. This picture is called a schooner. People on marine expeditions rely on this sailing ship. After all, she has always stayed in the mountains and never got a chance to see the world. My mentor went out to sea on such a ship when he was young to watch the transmit venues of Venus at a remote island. I need to mail my work logs to town today. I haven't focused on my work at all this while, so the quality's a bit lacking. I hope my mentor won't blame me. At first I thought I could visit Mr. Wong, but the doorman told me he's away and didn't know where he went. I don't know how did their reunion go. Hope it's good for the old gentleman. Sir, a roast chicken, please. As I'm passing through the market, that hawker selling roast chicken catches my eye once again. The roast chicken is Mori's favorite food. Perhaps she'll show up when she's hungry? But if it's true, does that mean she misses the roast chicken more than me? No way. I won't want to lose to a roast chicken. Mori, you mustn't appear. Mori, here's your favorite roast chicken. It's almost dinner time when I return to the cabin with the roast chicken. Although I can't see her, I can imagine she's probably resting out in the cabin with her eyes wide open while sparkling. And she's drooling. You greedy brat, don't hurry. Go inside and eat it slowly. On my way back, I've been thinking on whether you will show up because of the roast chicken. But you didn't, and I'm relieved. I'm chatting with Mori while eating the roast chicken. I went to Mr. Wong's house today, but I didn't see him. The doorman said he went to a distant place and might be away for a long time. Before he left, he instructed the doorman to tell me I could stay in his house at any time whenever I go to the mountain, since the mountain might be inconvenient for me. But I'd still prefer to return to the cabin because you are here. I lick my greasy fingers and burp involuntarily. If only you were here to eat it with me. I can't finish it alone. I wake up as always and put away my stuff on the table. Let's go out. I should continue investigating the areas where I usually take notes as planned. Upon opening the door, the familiar figure, whom I also don't know well, is standing in a short distance in front. It's you! I intended to look for her after Mori disappeared, but I didn't expect her to come here. You're not surprised? Sort of. She didn't reply, and I don't know what to say. She's cold and distant, just like when we met the first time. We look at each other for a while. Finally, I speak first. Last time, for Mori, I secretly looked into the story between you and Mr. Wong. I also devised a plan to steal your jade, and ended up overhearing your conversation with him. Please forgive me for being rude. That's all in the past now, and I should put an end to it. And I thought leaving without saying goodbye was the best. As long as we don't see each other and leave it to time, we would forget. This way, it would have the least amount of suffering. But he didn't forget you at all. Yes, both of us couldn't forget each other. Your actions were reckless, but they gave me an opportunity to put an end to it perfectly. So I'm grateful to you. Do you mean you finally managed to have a reunion after so much difficulty, but still had to part? Yes, it's just a coincidence. Coincidence? You think that is just a coincidence? I don't believe there is such a coincidence. You're so naive. Fox spirit world and human world take turns to overlap and separate. They can't remain stable. For humans who have limited lives, they would find that separation unbearable. Maybe you're right, separation is inevitable, but it's not the end. It's like us and dogs. I like doggos! And foxes should like humans. That night, Mr. Wong couldn't see you at first. If something around you didn't change, you would remain invisible to him. I'm not certain on the nature of that change, but I believe it's from your strong feelings from each other, with accumulated all the while. At that time, Ruri is muttering to herself in surprise. A coincidence would never take place without a reason. But what does it prove? It's just a short-lived miracle. He still won't be able to see me, eventually. That's because you choose to give up eventually. There are other options besides giving up. Long ago, humans didn't have trains or telegrams. A couple of lovers miles away were 2 worlds apart. It's common for most people to give up, but a few chose to trust and wait for each other. Their yearnings encouraged them to bear it even though most people would find it unbearable, and receive miracles so that these stories get passed on and we can hear them stories today. I understand what you're trying to say, and I also believe people can overcome that obstacle of being separated with strong minds. But it's inevitable that for that law of nature to separate humans and fox spirits. What can we change based on how we feel? The law of nature has set up a wall to stop us from touching each other, but it has also left a gap at the same time to give us a chance to meet each other again. If we decide to give up when we can only see the wall, we won't find that gap. In the end, it is our heart rather than the law of nature that is stopping us. If people give up early on like you, of course the only result is separation. I can't see Mori these days, but I can sense her presence around me. I only need to close my eyes and I will meet her. Although we can't see or touch each other, it doesn't mean we're separated, as long as we still care for each other. We're together just like lovers miles away in ancient times. Why do you have to? Because I'm afraid to lose Mori. If I give up, I will really miss a chance to be with Mori, and live in regret like Mr. Wong. I'd rather trust her and wait for her, and when I saw your reunion it renewed my confidence, so I believe I will see Mori again. You are. She sighs and looks upset. Both of you are irrational. Since both of you are prepared for that, then you two will have to choose your own path in future. Ruri sighs, and a figure slowly materializes next to her. That familiar skirt hem, that familiar hair, that familiar appearance within my imagination whenever I close my eyes. Mori? I was prepared to wait for her for 10 to 20 years, but now she appeared before me, which was as quiet as that time when she disappeared, and it caught me by surprise. It's you? It's really you? I can hardly believe my eyes. Yan? You can see me? When Mori's voice reaches my ears, her figure also becomes more distinct. I'm so nervous that I can clench my fist tightly, and my palms are sweating. Knees weak, arms are heavy to vomit, then the sweat already. Mom's beginning! Same way where I can scarcely contain my elation. But when I try this something, it says there's something stuck in my throat, and I can't utter anything at all. I trace the outline of her figure obsessively with my eyes, trying to keep all of her in my heart. Her eyes are shining like the moon on that night when she disappeared. Her long eyelashes are shaking lightly. Then she blinks, and a teardrop flows down her cheek. Mori? I panic. A variety of emotions is slowly welling up in my heart. It feels sour and bitter at the same time. You fool, you couldn't see me? Her eyes, which resemble the moon, contain teardrops that are shimmering like stars. You should have forgotten about me. You shouldn't have waited for me. I can't. I have a good memory. I remember we've made a pinky promise, no leaving without saying goodbye first. That wasn't done. You don't need to keep that promise. I'll wait for you until you say goodbye. Even if you still disappear again one day, I will always wait for you. Even if you sneak away, I will still wait for you. Don't wait. Don't wait for me. I will wait. You. What? Mori's tears are shedding like rain. Her ears are slouching, her body is trembling because she's sobbing, and finally, she has a meltdown. Mori? The bitterness in my heart is also welling up rapidly when I see her cry. This should be a joyful moment. Now, why are you crying? We should be overjoyed. I want to say something to console her, but she's crying harder, and I'm starting to sob. We've made it. We've overcome the worst part. I didn't expect her tears to flow out like a floodwater and panic because I have no idea on what to do. I can only look at what Ruri helplessly to ask her for help. What? What should I do? She must have cried like this when she was small. How did you make her stop? No, I never made her cry. You should solve your own problems by yourself. How could you? Help me, please. She keeps crying throughout, and I'm not on edge like a cat or a hot zinc roof. This is even harder than writing an essay in my final exam. Well, just let her cry. Wait, she will stop after a while. Maybe Rory's worried that I might scratch my head until it bleeds, and she finally offered me a solution out of compassion. You brought her up like this? The proposal sounds really reliable, though. Let's stop talking about this. Do you remember your purse? My purse? You were drawing water at the river, and you forgot your purse. Then you went back to the cabin to fetch it, remember? It seems it does ring a bell. I remember when I got the purse, there's a little ringing sound in my ears. That's right, I did that. I made Mori go away on purpose, so that I could cast a spell on you. Cast a spell? Cast a spell? Mori stops crying all of a sudden and looks at Rory with her ears cocked up. Check this out. She stopped crying. What? Lady Skyfox? Mori is so angry that even her neck has turned red and she keeps stomping. Is this the actual solution Rory was talking about? There is no doubt that they are biologically related. What spell did you cast on me? I think you have guessed it. So the reason I couldn't shoot Mori isn't because we're destined to be separated, but it's from your spell? Really? It's true that both of you are destined to be separated, but not at this time. This is just a rehearsal I have arranged for both of you. If you both would separate as I had intended, at least the relationship wouldn't be too deep. But on the contrary, you two believed in each other even more. Since you have both made up your mind, you'll face the consequences whether they are good or bad. I will entrust Mori to you. Mori, I'm going to draw some water at the river. It's sunny today. Since the weather is good for gathering samples in the mountain, I will follow the existing plan. Mori is still busy with some stuff in the cabin, so I decided to fetch some water first, after waiting a while at the doorway. Okay. Mori's reply seems absent-minded. I'm about to walk there when everything goes black, and I fall down. When I reopen my eyes, I have been moved to the bed. Are you alright? You look pale. How long did I sleep? I sit up from the bed and feel a little dizzy. Mori is looking at me with a worried expression by my side. I think I took you to the bed. Then I poured a glass of water and brought it here. Then you woke up. It's not long. I guess 10 minutes at most. I'm relieved considering that she has no sense of time. I should buy her a watch. It's my fault. Mori still looks worried after hearing my words, and she is staring at me in a daze. It's alright. I guess I'm too tired to do the work. I'll be fine after resting for a while. Okay, you can rest now. I'll cook something. Cook? Better for me to do that. No, just lie down. She quickly held me down when she saw I was about to get off the bed. Okay. Closing my eyes and lying down in the bed, I'm thinking, God knows what peculiar meal she'll cook. Close your eyes. She covers my eyes with her hands, and it's a bit forceful. Her palms are dry, soft, and have a special smell. Maybe I'm really exhausted. Her hands feel warm and reassuring, and my consciousness fades to no time. Jan, wake up! Both Murray's voice and tempting aroma from the food wake me up. It smells so good. Of course, get up. I made some porridge. This is totally different from the terrible meal I imagined. The rice porridge is cooked until it's soft to have the right consistency with some leafy green vegetables and thin white fish fillets added to it. It looks so appetizing. Can't believe you can make porridge, and you did a good job. You taught me, remember? At the time you were really with me? Yes, that is freaking insane. When you visual novels make you read some shit, some deep shit. Like, you think this is just a visual novel for some boobies, some ass, some boobs and ass, some floppy ears and a tail. But there's a damn message behind these damn things. And it's sad sometimes. Although I never doubted it, I can rarely contain my joy when Mori admitted it. So you never left? Yes. She's blushing even more. So did you follow me to the bathroom? Of course not. You told me to wait outside. She immediately interrupted me furiously. I miss that feeling whenever I tease Mori so much fun. But it's a good thing that I reminded her that time, or it would be embarrassing if she had followed me. So yummy. Took the bowl to take a large mouthful. I love porridge, is so delicious. Slow down, it's hot. Full of energy after having a bowl of hot porridge, it feels as if the exhaustion from earlier has gone away. It tastes so good, even better than my cooking. You're making fun of me? I mean it, seriously. Have some too. I have already eaten. Mori murmured. I believe you saved it for me? No, I'm full already. Let me feel your belly, or I won't buy it. You? Bad boy. Seems she's been growing up when I couldn't see her. I also need to put in more effort myself. Alright, guys. Alrighty. Yan, have you recovered already? Of course, you've been looking after me, right? I'm fine now. Actually, I should have collected the samples yesterday, but Mori stopped me from getting off the bed, so I had to postpone my schedule. You should get more rest when you're sick. In human society, this minor ailment isn't even an excuse to ask to leave. Humans are so cruel. Don't worry, if you're ill, I'll give you half a month of sick leave, even for the most minor ailment. I won't fall sick as easily as you. Mori seems to have thought of something and her expression becomes sullen. So when you were sick as a kid, you would just cry and ask Rory for help? You are the one crying? Don't be modest. I'm impressed by your crying skills. You? By the way, you cry a lot, like last time. That means your tears in the past decade would be enough to increase the sea level by 1 centimeter, does it? Just 1 centimeter? That is what is 1 centimeter? Mori tilts her head in confusion. This length. I measure the approximate distance with my fingers. It's only a tiny bit. As far as I'm concerned, your tears would increase the sea level by this much. Mori indicated a bigger distance by extending her arms. What a fool. Let's put aside the argument on whether I cry a lot or not. Do you know how big is the sea? Do you know how much water the sea would need to raise its level by this much? I indicate the same distance by imitating her. Is that a lot? That amount of seawater is enough to flood this forest 100 times and turn the forest into an oceanic trench. Really? Remember that little waterfall almost drowned you? It's not true. You're making fun of me again. You'd better believe it when I take you to the seaside during the holidays. I bet you will be so scared you will lose all the fur on your tail. Mori waves her tail instinctively. I won't. After finishing the work outside, we head back to the cabin and check the baskets of the river as usual. Why are there so many baskets? You didn't know? There are more fish baskets than before, and they are all set along the river in a disorderly manner. It's obviously someone's handiwork. When did you make these, and this much? I made them while you were resting yesterday. We have caught so much now, we can't eat all of them. I'm wondering if I should free some of the fish since it's a big harvest. That's easy. I'll look for Lady Skyfox and get her to join us. Well, fine. You can also show her your cooking skills to her. Then I'm leaving. Where are you going? To look for Lady Skyfox. Tonight? Of course. Fresh fish are the best. Alright. Take care. Smell of fish will keep me busy. After cutting and salting those fish, I arranged the utensils on the dinner table. Because I was worried that Mori might break the bowls and dishes, I stored some backup utensils in the cabinet, and they come in handy now. Yawn! I could hear Mori's voice from a distance. Here you are. Where is Rory? I can only see Mori. Here? Mori jumps to where I can't believe she actually came, revealing Lady Skyfox, who looked grumpy from behind. It seems she's dragged here by Mori. Oh, I have prepared the fish. Have a seat first. Dinner will be ready in a minute. No, I'll cook, Yan. You just sit down. It's better for me to cook. No, I want to present my cooking skills to Lady Skyfox this time. Mori comes over to me while saying it and snatches the kitchenware from my hand. Alright. Since Mori is in such high spirits, I relent and watch her bustling about. The pot is hot. Don't touch it with your bare hands. Use some dustcloths. Don't wipe your face with your hands in the dirty. Wipe it with a handkerchief. I'm worried she might make mistakes when she looks so engrossed in cooking it, so I keep reminding her. Alright, I know. You were so annoying. Go away. Mori drives me away by waving her hand at me impatiently. The atmosphere is a bit awkward. Do you like to eat fish? I'm kind of regretting it after asking her because we only have fish as the main dish for tonight. What if she doesn't like fish? It's still okay for me. Oh, good. Although Rory looks cold as always. She is staring attentively at Mori, who is bustling about. I think even if Rory isn't saying it, she is so concerned for Mori. I feel a bit guilty at the thought of taking Mori away from her. But by the way, the Mid-Autumn Festival is around the corner, and the town will be celebrating the festival. I'm planning to take Mori there to have a look. Would you like to join us? No thanks. I went to visit the old gentleman, Mr. Wang, a few days ago, but the doorman told me he went somewhere far away. I wonder if he's back now. You are so nosy. When I talked about Mr. Wang, Rory's facial expression became slightly milder. Just mind your own business. I'm great with Mori. That's good, but I should remind you that although she seems easy to clear water from a lake, she has her own concerns hidden deep in her heart. It's best for you to watch out. Is that so? Mori has other concerns? I cast a glance at her when she's currently focused on cooking. So Wang and Ruri, they can see each other again, but Ruri's hanging out in the forest, Wang's doing his thing. But they do come and connect and see each other. I think it's just because foxes live so much longer than humans that Ruri sees that as a negative, similar to how dogs don't live as long as humans, and we kind of see it as a negative, but we still cherish that time that we have. That's probably what Rory sees, and that's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of vibes that I'm getting from this, but Rory's starting to see, you know what, spend the time that you have together and do as much as you possibly can. That's probably what's going on here. Take note of it. Don't worry, I will cherish her, and I won't occupy her entirely for myself. You're so long-winded. Lady Skyfox, your dinner's ready. Mori has finished cooking and called us. By the way, Mori isn't good with spells, and she might expose herself among the crowd. Let me help a bit. Before I could respond, Mori has left. How will she help me? Gonna remove the ears and the tail? Are we going to town today? Yay! As she might have. Today is Mid-Autumn Festival. I told Mori to get ready and we're going to town. Thanks to Rory's spell, Mori's ears and tail are gone. Now she looks totally like a common human girl, except she looks more adorable. Right, today is Mid-Autumn Festival. Mid-Autumn Festival? Yes, the 15th day of the 8th month is the Chinese calendar. You don't know about the Mid-Autumn Festival? I didn't see that coming. Rory never took her to watch the moon. How boring their life is. I don't know. Mid-Autumn Festival is a traditional festival because tonight's moon will be more round and bright than usual. Everyone will be going out to watch the moon tonight. But we don't have to watch it in town, right? We can watch it over here. The town will have a celebratory events. It's more lively. Besides, you love to have fun in town, right? But you just recovered and you shouldn't move around too much. Maybe we should stay here. I'm okay now, don't worry, and I also need to make a trip to the post office. Mori would miss the chance to see the humans at a festival, so I made up an excuse. I thought you usually go to the post office on weekends. It's a festival today. It's the same. Oh, let's go then. Town shops are displaying all kinds of delicately packaged mooncakes and red lanterns are everywhere. Seems like a freaking Lunar New Year. What the hell's going on here? People are hustling and bustling around us, and we are soaking up the festival's atmosphere. So many people, where did they come from? Mid-Autumn Festival is a festival for reunions. Many people would come home to reunite with their families on this holiday, so there are more people than usual. Since their families are here, why don't they stay with them instead of waiting until the festival itself before coming home? Because of work, people often don't have the final say in these matters beyond their control most of the time. Work again? Yes, I haven't returned home for a long time either. I'm wondering whether I should write a letter home while opening the letter I got from the post office. This letter is from my roommate. I thought it was my supervisor urging me to work. Roommate? A girl? How is that possible? This girl lacks common sense. I have to explain to her that the university's dormitory works. In short, boys can't live together with girls, let alone in the same room or even in the same building. Oh, so 6 boys live in one tiny room? Lady Skyfox and I live in different rooms, so I need to walk through a long corridor each time to see her. You have a corridor? Fox spirits really live in luxury by living in such a big place for the both of you? I could have sworn I've read something like this before. Is it good to stay in a large dwelling? On the contrary, I want to cram in a tiny room like you do. It's not as good as you imagine. One of my roommates, he snores a lot at night, and it's so loud we couldn't sleep, and we got so annoyed we planned to stuff his socks into his mouth. That's mean. I think so too, but in actual fact, we didn't take any action. Oh. Mori looked kind of absent-minded. She's looking at a bustling street when I took to the direction she's facing. There's a shop selling snacks. She's probably hungry. I realize it's almost time for dinner after checking the time on my pocket watch. Let's grab a bite. I put the letter, which I haven't read entirely, into my pocket. Freshly made candy figures, very sweet. After dinner, I'm strolling along the streets with Mori, and we run into the candy figure vendor again. Dude, buy one for your girl. I guarantee it's sweet. The vendor noticed I'm looking at him, and he began to cry out towards me. Previously, Mori's candy figure fell to the ground when she panicked. She didn't get to try it, and we didn't come back to buy a new one. I didn't expect to see the vendor again today. You have the fox, no, the chicken-shaped candy figure. I intended to buy the fox-shaped candy figure, but I remembered that Mori was reluctant to eat the fox-shaped candy figure, so I changed my mind. Yes, I have all types of candy figures. If you can't find any candy figures you like, I can make one for you. Excuse me, I'd like a fox-shaped candy figure. Mori suddenly popped her head from behind to make her request shyly. Here you go. I thought you didn't like the fox-shaped figure. Yes, it's for you. This is the first time she talked to another human besides me. It is unexpected, and she did it for me. Looks like the vendor is right when he said the candy figure is very sweet. It's such a delight. You finally tasted it this time. Is it good? Yes. We were walking along the street while holding a different candy figure, and people seemed to be looking at us with envy. Look at those two. A simple candy figure would turn them into kids. Yes, love makes people childish. Fine, they're not looking at us with envy. So my roommate's paper got an award. I'm eating the candy figure while reading the letter from my pocket. This guy used to stay up all night to play cards with us and work with us to cheat in the exams. Now he has achieved something. What about your paper? Mine? I have to stay at the cabin for a year before I can go back and have time to write my paper. If you didn't come to the mountain instead of the university, you'd be like your roommate? I guess so. I would work hard on the paper and fool around until my graduation. What about after your graduation? After my graduation, I haven't thought of that. I'm scratching my head while thinking on my plans after graduation. Maybe I will beg my supervisor to be his assistant or something. After all, the working world outside is too complicated. I don't think I can handle that. And after that, I'll probably marry one of my supervisor's younger students who might be blind enough to fall in love with me. That sort of thing. Oh? Mori stopped asking questions after hearing that. She lowers her head and seems upset. Suddenly realize I've said something wrong. Well, it's too bad. I haven't met a younger student who is that blind all these years. But I met a defiant fox lady. I'd say my waiting has finally paid off. You're such an optimist. A fox spirit is much harder to deal with compared to a younger student. She raises her head again. She's probably in a good mood now. That's good. Shall we go back? Mori asked me anxiously as it's near dusk and there are fewer people in the streets. I just heard from someone passing in the people were releasing sky lanterns tonight. Let's join in. But if it's too late at night, Don't worry, there are hotels in town. At most, we can spend one night at Mr. Wong's. The place where sky lanterns are released will be lively and pretty. You're going to love it. I see. What do we need to prepare then? Let's buy a lantern first. Okay. Take Mori to walk through the stream of people. Sky lantern is a kind of lantern that can fly. Fly? Yes, it's a lantern made of paper. It's very light, and there is a candle at the bottom of the lantern. The hot air generated by the candle will make the lantern fly. Sounds complicated. In ancient times, people used a lantern to send messages for long-distance matters. Later, it has gradually evolved into a custom to wish for blessings during festivals. Then we are also going to make our wishes? Of course, we need to write our wishes on a note and hang the note on the sky lantern when the time comes. We arrive at the place with the crowd after buying the sky lantern. It's completely dark now. The moon has risen in the sky quietly and replaced the sun. It's like a gemstone embedded in the dark blue sky. Write Mori's name on a note and give it to her so that she can write her wishes on the other side. What did you write? Mori wrote her wishes quickly and hung the note on the lantern while avoiding me on purpose. My wishes won't come true if I say it. How do you know? I just heard it from others. She lights a candle in the lantern while giving her explanation. That's superstitial. What is there to hide? I reach out to grab the lantern. Wait. Mori blocks my hand and releases the lantern. Hence our lantern floats into the sky. The lanterns around us also float upwards one after another. For a moment the sky and the earth seem to have swapped places, and a red waterfall is cascading upwards in the sky. The lights all over the sky converge to form a splendid Milky Way, overshadowing the stars and moon. The whole night sky is lit up. Mori is also enthralled by the sky. I look around. It seems most of the people around here are couples, but this time I don't need to invade them. This time, for them to invade me. Mori is staying still with the same posture. She looked at the sky and I stare at her. Mori looks more real under the candlelight and moonlight. She doesn't look that surreal compared to that night in the forest. This is a treasure granted by heaven. I will cherish this moment no matter what happens in the future. Yun, do you know where the lanterns end up eventually? Where? Of course it is. I was just about to tell Mori the lanterns will fly up into the air. When the candles burn out, they will fall off. They will fly all the way to the palace in the moon. Is that so? That sounds so far away. Can they actually reach it? Of course they can. The goddess is the place where also the wishes on the note and the helpers fulfill them. Mori smiles and becomes quiet after she heard my explanation. Her eyes are still fixed on the sky as if she's chasing our lantern. I'm also looking at the sky along with her, but that's bewildering. There are so many lanterns, can you tell which one is our lantern? Sure, that's true. She remains focused on keeping her eyes on our wishes throughout. Mori, I'm getting up. I remind Mori to get to the usual, but she didn't respond. She's too tired from yesterday. I look at the bed. Her coat is folded neatly. She is up already? Why didn't she call me? I mumble as I get dressed. Mori seems to have gone out. Maybe she's preparing breakfast. When I step out of the cabin, there's no fire outside. Mori? I shout towards the river, but there is no response. The only sound I can hear is the echo of birds screeching in alarm. That's strange. Where did she go? I return to the cabin and check the desks and bed carefully. She would probably leave a message if there was something urgent she had to go out. Weird. I look everywhere, but Mori didn't leave behind any message. Don't tell me. Ruri's spell has an additional part to it. It's useless to make wild guesses. I should look for Ruri. Try to remember the route Mori took me through the other day. It should be in this direction. I take the map to check. Let's hurry up and find Ruri as soon as possible. Surroundings change constantly as I keep going in a direction, but they agree with that. I can't remember. I should be the right path. This is the place where Mori and I had met Ruri back then. Mori told me before that Ruri hid the shrine so humans can't enter. Lady Skyfox, Lady Ruri, I keep shouting while circling around the place. Freeze. Suddenly, a voice called me to stop. I wheel around to see Lady Skyfox and she looks irritated. You're so noisy. Where are your manners? Did Mori come back to the shrine? Didn't I entrust her to you? Did you lose her? She not at the shrine? Really, I can't believe I actually got convinced by your big talk earlier. Looks like you're still... I was still with her yesterday, but she's gone this morning and didn't leave any messages either. Did your spell go wrong? Before you suspect me, why don't you reflect on yourself first? Did you do something to make her unhappy with you? Me? I did nothing. We spent a happy mid-autumn festival yesterday. It's your own problem. Just figure it out yourself. I need to water my plants. Wait. Another thing. Stop making noise here and go somewhere else. You have scared away my birds. After saying it, Rory turns around and disappears before I could respond. Wait, are you sure there are no problems with your spell? I continue to shout hurriedly since she can't have gone far. You're so annoying. If you shout again, I will really never let you see her again. Didn't mean to bother you, but I really don't know what to do now. Mori has just disappeared abruptly, and I'm having a panic attack. I don't have a clue at all this time. Please help me, Lady Sky Fox. You two are really so annoying. Well, you could go look at the other way. Maybe she has come to her senses and she doesn't want to be with you anymore. No, I believe in her. She has been through a lot before. We could be together. She definitely won't ditch me. You didn't fall for that. I'm being serious here. Why are you toying with me? Then use your smart brain and think hard over it. I really don't have a clue. That's why I came for your help. I was mistaken. You're not smart at all indeed. Well, it didn't occur to you that she just wanted out to have fun? Have fun? You're saying she went out to have fun? She only has you and me in her world. She's not here. She's not at your place either. The only explanation, she has gone out to have fun. That simple? Think carefully. You don't ever, and don't forget what I said. Do not make any noise around here. Rory suddenly vanishes once again, but I'm so puzzled. Have fun? Where would she go? Scratch my head, sort out my thoughts, and open the map. The places Mori might go. I study the map carefully. This is the first spot that comes to mind, although Mori once said she disliked the smell from the trees around here. We do have precious memories of this place. This is the place that I fell in love with the little fox. I was also overjoyed now that she was also willing to accept me. When I arrived in that patch of grass, flowers are blooming as before. Mori? I call her softly, but can only hear the plants rustling in the breeze. She's not here. This is Mori's secret base. She said she loved to bathe in this hot spring. This is the place where we carried out our plans successfully as a team and proved to be completely trusted each other. When I look at the sparkling water, there isn't a pair of eyes that is looking for me. She's not here. This tree is familiar to me. Mori used to observe me secretly from behind this tree. That time where the big tail swinging behind the tree which exposed her, and I caught her in no time. Mori? Call gently towards the tree. She's also not here. Turned to the cabin wearily after searching through the spots I could think of. Mori still didn't come back. But where on earth did she go? What's bothering her? The book she was reading is lying on the carpet near the desk. It's as if she was reading the book and talking to me a second earlier. My eyes found the desk, and there's an illustrated book with an old water stain on the cover. This book. Back then, I took the book outside to dry it, and Mori was the one who brought it inside. I really got frightened by her at that time. Speaking of which, there's a good story behind Mori in the illustrated book. I had wet the book in order to save her. It's been a long time since I flipped through this book. I sigh and relax a bit by resting my weary body on a chair. Then I open the book. Inside here, it really does have this. I almost forgot the things I have drawn in this book. Back then I was observing the plants near the waterfall, and I saw a pretty little fox bouncing around. I was attracted by her energetic nature and became possessed. I'd actually put aside my work and doodle on the blank page in that valuable book, and that fox is Mori. Suddenly there was a plop sound, and I was absorbed in my drawing. When I looked up, the fox had disappeared. Quickly got up to look for it. The illustrated book slipped through my hands, bounced off the rocks, and landed beside the river. Next, I turned to see where the book landed and saw the little fox had fallen into the river. Thus, I never finished that sketch. I stare at the half-finished picture of Mori. Right? This is the place. Slap the table and rush out. How could I forget this place? How come I haven't thought of it earlier? This is the place where I met Mori for the first time. It's a place where our destinies started to intertwine. I have a strong feeling that she is definitely here. It's true, she is here. Stop to catch my breath. I'm watching her back in a distance. From what I can see, she is curled into a tiny hairball and is motionless. Her ears aren't upright as usual, and her tail is curled on the ground. Mori, what's on your mind? I'm muttering for myself, mindful of Rory's warning. What exactly did I neglect? Never mind, it's useless to make a wild guess. I take a deep breath and walk towards Mori step by step. Oh, what are you looking at? I quietly walk to Mori from behind and hold her. Mori is shocked, then she relaxes. Yan, why did you come here? Because you are here. She didn't reply, but I can feel her body is trembling. What's wrong? Is it something troubling you? Is it because of me? She didn't say anything and just shook her head. Can you tell me? Haven't you said this before? Being together isn't only about sharing the happiness, but also the pain? She doesn't sound like her usual self. I tighten my arms around her without realizing it. I'm scared. Scared of what? I'm scared to be with you. Me? Back then, if you didn't run into me down here. Why do you say that? If you didn't meet me, you could be like normal people, like your classmate. You would have a normal life, get to like normal human goals, share your happiness with normal people. As for me, I'm your burden. No, you're not. Yes, I am, because when I'm at your side, you can't be like a normal human. No. When I'm with you, you will lose everything in a normal person's life. I don't want it to be like this. I don't want you to sacrifice so much for me. Because of me, you work very hard, exhaust yourself, and collapse. I'm so scared whenever I think of that. No, you're not my burden. You're the love of my life. I never sacrifice or lose anything because of you. The hard work and fatigue I put in make me happy in return. It's kind of happiness that we both share. The joyful days I spend with you are the greatest happiness. Without you, all the beautiful and happy moments in lives of normal humans are held to me. But by falling in love with you, I spent all my feelings in this life. To be with you, I have also spent the luck of my life. Am I truly your right choice? Of course. But I really disappeared. Didn't I tell you earlier? You won't disappear forever. No matter where and when, no matter how many years later, I will keep waiting for you. Is that really worth it? Yes, because I believe you will always be at my side. After I said that, Mori didn't say anything for a while. I wait for a response patiently because I trust her. What's going on? It's not done, is it? What does she say? You can't end it like this! It doesn't end, there's gotta be some more. What does she say? You can't end it like that, my guy. Okay, this is definitely credits. That is definitely credits. There we go. You know, fox spirits have very long lives. Yes, much longer than mine. So if we promise to be together, I don't want to spend it with just one lifetime from you. That's even better. I don't need to make any effort to fall in love with anyone else in my next life. No matter how many lives, it's fine as long as we're together. You are foolish. You are more foolish than me. I hold Mori tightly and feel her body with all my heart and soul. Out of the corner of my eyes, the evening sun is gradually clearing away the mist from the sky. It's the same with our future. And, oh, it says Finn. End. Wow. much longer than I thought it was. I'm not gonna lie, that was much longer than I thought it was. Hey, we've unlocked it, the whole thing. We beat the whole thing. Yeah, everything's done. Awesome. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed another visual novel. If you want to suggest for me any more games, any more visual novels, let me know. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you learned something from it, maybe. Because there's always definitely something underlying in visual novels. It's absolutely crazy. I could talk about it all day, but we're going to end it there. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I will be live again tomorrow night. Peace out, everybody.